It's a chilly and blustery afternoon here at the Cyclone Sports Complex as Iowa State looks to rebound after a tough road away from home in Austin. 18-22 the Cyclones. They'll take on the 27-20 Texas Tech Red Raiders. Hello again, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast booth. I'm Andrew Schneider alongside Matt Van Winkle. And Matt, Iowa State is going to have to rebound without one of their best hitters, a Big 12 Big 12 Player of the Week.
Yeah, junior Sarah Harlock out for today's game. She suffered a strained tendon in her hand against Texas. Right fielder Madison Jones is going to be filling in for her. We'll see how that plays into today's game, Andrew.
And it might be a very tricky outfield out there this afternoon. Winds are coming from the northwest at 23 miles an hour. We've seen wind gusts up to near 40. Temperatures in the low 40s. That will continue to drop as we head into the late evening hours. Matt, very, very tough conditions to play softball today.
Yeah, well, we said Sarah Harlock, a slugger for Iowa State, out for this game, but Tori Toscano and Erica Miller have a big advantage here. That wind blowing to straightaway left center field. We'll see how that plays in today's game as well.
Big lineup for Texas Tech as well. We're going to talk about that and more coming up after the break. First pitch, live right here on Cyclones.tv.
Hi, I'm John Walters. Ames is the home of the Cyclones and so much more.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
And welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex. It's Iowa State softball. We're live on Cyclones.tv. And let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They'll bat here in the top half of the first. We've got Mikey Kenny, the center fielder. She's batting first. Shelby Johnson and left field batting second. Caitlin Williams batting third over in right. Sandy James batting fourth. Adriana Perez batting fifth. Lexi Elkins batting sixth. Samantha Camello batting seventh. Katie Beth King batting eighth. And Brooke Scott batting ninth. Iowa State will line up this way defensively. The outfield from left to right, Jordan Spenlove, Brittany Gomez, Madison Jones in for Sarah Harlock, who is out this afternoon with a wrist injury. The infield from left to right, Maddie Reese, Lexi Slater, Sarah Davison, Erica Miller. The battery this afternoon, Hallie Lenzine, and Tori Toscano. Matt, tell us the book on Tori Toscano.
Well, that's Toscano finishing up her warm-up pitches. She's 9-9 on the season. 19 games started with a 4.68 ERA, 119.2 innings pitched. Andrew, the story for her lately has been walks. Struggled with those in that last homestand against Oklahoma State. With this win, though, here today, she's going to have to keep that ball down low. Doesn't want to leave anything up too high with that wind carrying out to straightaway at left center field as the first pitch awaits.
Toscano will set and get her signed for the first pitch of the afternoon. Let's play ball. That's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Mikey Kenny. Kenny is a senior out there in center field, the table setter for Texas Tech.
Toscano giving up 168 hits on the season to 100 runs.
Her next pitch is outside for ball one. Matt, Texas Tech, a lot of power in this lineup coming up behind Kenny. As you said, Toscano is going to have to keep the ball down. Let's see what she does with this 1-1. It is low for ball two.
Yeah, they've got a couple hitters in double-digit home run numbers, Adriana Perez and Mikey Kenny, who's up to bat right now, who's got 11 home runs on the year.
A lot of power in this lineup. 66 home runs last season for the Red Raiders. Toscano's 2-1. It swung on and driven out to left field. Spenlove has it out there in left field. She's up with it on a rope, and that's the first out of the inning. She had a little bit of trouble out there. Looks like she was in the right spot, fortunately, because she didn't get a good read off that one.
Well, you could see right away with this wind already, that ball was swirling around out there. That was probably a base hit if that wind wasn't blowing so far out to left field, but that was an easy catch for Spenlove.
Toscano's first to the lefty. Johnson is outside for ball one.
Yeah, that wind's going to just keep that ball up in the air.
Toscano's
It's going to be swirling around, but it's going to hang up there just a little bit. give those outfielders just a little bit more time to get under the ball and make the catch.
Shelby Johnson, the speedster, will take ball 2 low. She has 16 stolen bases on the season, batting .336. Kenny Johnson, the typical 1-2 lineup here for Texas Tech. The 3-4-5 has been switched a lot lately in Big 12 play. The 2-0, though, to Johnson. And Johnson will show bunt, and it's fouled off for a strike. 2-1 the count, 1 down here for the Red Raiders. Mikey Kenny retired on a line drive out to Spenlove in left field. That went howling over to left field, though. Toscano's 2-1 is low for ball 3.
You can see the corners there, and Reese and Miller playing just a little bit in, expecting that bunt. The middle infield playing back.
Johnson, one of the few Red Raiders without a home run so far this season. She'll take a 3-1, and she'll take a walk. First base runner of the afternoon for Texas Tech, and that power is coming up in quite a hurry. Caitlin Williams is up. Leads the team in average, 8 home runs, 13 doubles on the season. She'll look to third and get her sign.
Yeah, both these Iowa State and Texas Tech offenses very respectable. Iowa State right around 300 at 293, and Tech above 300 at 304 on the year.
The first pitch is ball 1. Johnson got a good lead over there at first base. The signs, of course, coming from fourth-year head coach Shannon Hayes at third base. A lot of success for the Red Raiders the past couple seasons, as we alluded to. A lot of home runs last season. The 1-0 is swung on and popped straight back and foul. Johnson again off with the pitch.
The Red Raiders had a pretty good non-conference, 27-20 overall, just 1-8 though, Andrew, in the Big 12.
They've run in some of those best teams in the country, Oklahoma and Texas.
We're going at it today, actually.
Yeah, Big 12 is stacked. Toscano's 1-1 is swung on behind the plate. It's a miss, and then the throw is wild underneath the glove of Davison. No advancement, though. A stolen base for Johnson.
She left right on the pitch. You can see a nice backup by Gomez. Lenzine did the best job she could to get it down there, but Johnson was in there easily.
That throw is low, but no harm, no foul. 17th stolen base on the season for Johnson. Puts a runner at second with 1 out on a 1-2 count. Toscano has been throwing the ball low, as you alluded to, Matt, in the top of our broadcast. That one's up and in, though, for ball 2. Almost hits her.
Control issues. Been a little bit of a struggle here for Toscano as of late, but the Cyclones 4-0 here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. Had a lot of success in that first opening series against Oklahoma State, followed up by that nice win against Drake, that come from behind win.
The 2-2 is swung on and driven out to right field. Jones is going to camp under it, and it looks like Davison is, but it's in between them for a base hit. A little bit of defensive confusion out there, possibly with Jones, not the typical right fielder out there. Harluck is out, and that's a bloop hit.
Yep, they'll give her a single.
And it's runners at the corners now for the Red Raiders with only 1 down.
And Shelby Johnson, advancing to third base, did a nice job of waiting to make sure that ball fell, and when she saw it, she took off for third. So runners on the corners now for the Red Raiders.
Sandy James will dig in. We'll get the book on her in a second after this first pitch. It's inside for ball 1. James, the all-time home run leader in Red Raiders history, and holds a single season record as well with 11 last season, or 2 years ago, rather.
She's got 7 on the year, 36 runs driven in. That leads the team. Second on the team, excuse me.
1-0. Down the middle for a strike.
You think 36 runs batted in might be enough, but Adriana Perez, we'll see here in a bit, 46 RBIs. So this team does a great job with runners in scoring position, knocking runners in.
A lot of power. Not a day that would favor those big offenses with that wind howling to left. That one swung on a miss on an off-speed pitch from Toscano for strike 2. 1-2 the count, 1 out, runners at the corners. It's Johnson over at third, Williams at first. Johnson reached on a walk, Williams reached on a single.
Nice pitch there by Toscano. Kind of got away with one, but she took a little bit off it as that one dropped in.
The 1-2 just misses for ball 2. An excellent pitch with 2 strikes. Runs the count even at 2-2.
Well, that's the pitch if you're Toscano. You really want that call. Runners on the corners and the Red Raiders threatening. That's a big out if she can get it.
Fly ball to the outfield will likely score Johnson at third. The 2-2 is low. Looks like an attempt at a steal, but no defensive attempt to throw out. Williams gets runners now at second and third. with a full count, 1 out.
Well, that's a planned first and third move there. Just have that second baseman come in and cut that throw off a little bit low by Lenzy and got away with one. If that one scoots away, that's an easy run for the Red Raiders.
3-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, second out of the inning for Toscano. We saw it, Matt, earlier this season against Drake and against Oklahoma State. Iowa State puts base runners on, but Toscano and the pitching staff have done an excellent job of dancing out of danger.
Yeah, they've given up runs early on in the game. They've gotten in some problems, but they usually do a pretty good job of settling in and avoiding some bigger problems.
First pitch to Adriana Perez is high and tight for ball 1. Perez is chasing her teammate James for that home run record, and she's got 13 so far this season.
As we said, 46 runs driven in.
That one's grounded over to Reese. She'll throw across to Miller to end the inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're going to head to the bottom half of the first. Cyclones up to bat coming up next.
.46 runs driven in.
That one's grounded over to Reese. She'll throw across to Miller to
46 runs driven in.
That one's
simple is better. Simple is here. DuPont Pioneer revolutionized simple with the broadest lineup of refuge management products. Better choices. Make it simple. Refuge simplified by DuPont Pioneer.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am
A helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 6 years.
15 years.
25 years.
I've been a helpful smile for 39 years. I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex. No score as we head to the bottom half of the first. Iowa State's lineup will look like this afternoon. Brittany Gomez will lead things off at center. Maddie Reese batting second. Erica Miller batting third. Tori Toscano, the senior, batting fourth. Sarah Davison is batting fifth. Jordan Spenlove, sixth, the lefty. Allie Capper had a big home run against Drake. She's batting seventh. Hallie Lenzine is catching. And Lexi Slater will round out the Cyclone lineup. And as we get the final warm-up tosses here from Kara Custer, the pitcher, let's look at a quick peek at the Texas Tech lineup as Shelby Johnson, Mikey Kenny, Caitlin Williams from left to right in the outfield, Samantha Camello, Brooke Scott, the middle infielders, Adriana Perez and Sandy James, the corner infielders. As we said, Kara Custer, the pitcher. She'll be throwing to Lexi Elkins. Matt, the line on Kara Custer for us, if you will.
12-11 on the season, 3.07 ERA in 32 appearances this year. She started in 25 games, 7 complete games, one of those being a shutout. 141.1 innings pitched. She's given up 136 hits, Andrew. That's quite a few.
And she'll dig into the circle. The first pitch to Gomez is outside for ball 1. Gomez, the speedster, already has the season high for Cyclone history in terms of stolen bases. She's missing her partner in crime, though, today, Sarah Harlock, out with a minor wrist injury. Second one to her is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Custer, 100 strikeouts on the season, so she does give up quite a few hits, but she kind of matches that out. She evens it out with strikeout numbers, Andrew. She's a pretty hard thrower as well.
That one is swung on and missed as well for ball 2, or rather strike 2. Perez and James are in on the infield corners. Texas Tech aware of Gomez's speed threat. She's poked a few base hits, though, past those infielders when they play in. The 1-2 to her is swung on and missed for strike 3, first out of the inning for the Cyclones.
Well, the Cyclones tend to have success when Gomez can lead off the game getting on base. As we said, leading the team in runs. 40 scored for Gomez, so they've done quite a nice job of driving the runners in when they get on base. Let's see if they can get one here.
Maddie Reese will move up in the lineup this afternoon. She's batting second, and she'll take the first from Custer. Strike down the middle, 0-1 the count.
Maddie Reese batting .305 on the year, 32 hits, 19 driven in.
The 0-1 to her is outside for ball 1. Iowa State looking to rebound, got swept in Texas, had really good competition. That offense is playing well. It's just Texas, one of the top teams in the country. That one swung on and grounded over to short. A little bit of trouble for Camello, and Reese will be safe over at first. And that's the first base runner for the Cyclones.
He'll probably score that one as an error. That's an easy ground ball for Camelo. Just had some trouble fielding it cleanly, and Reese is over to first for the first runner of the day for the Cyclones.
Both these lineups, you don't want to give away those base runners. Really, really tough middle of the orders for both teams. Erica Miller will step in. Last time we saw her on Cyclones.tv, she broke the all-time RBI record for the Cyclones. Reese showing with a big lead over there at first as Miller takes ball one.
Yeah, Reese looking like she was thinking about going there after the pitch, but decided to retrieve back to first base.
Putting pressure on defensively, and she is going to go on this one, and she'll be safe at second as the throw is wild into center field. However, Reese slid in head first, so she was unable to see that ball was thrown all the way out to Mikey Kenny, and she'll stay over there at second base, won't be able to advance on the wild throw, but now a runner in scoring position for Erica Miller.
Yeah, you saw Reese, that previous pitch, just get a little far off base, decided to take advantage and was in there easily. That throw just went into center field. A nice job by Kenny to back that one up.
That was a called strike, so it's 1-1. That pitch outside for ball two. Miller in control here, 2-1 count. Runner at second is Maddie Reese.
As we mentioned, Andrew, in the open, this wind going to have a little bit of a factor on the pitchers here today as well as the hitters. That ball's going to move around from left to right.
That one is swung on sharply and grounded over to second out into right center field. Miller will drive in a run as Reese rounds third. Iowa State will take a 1-0 lead on a base hit by Erica Miller.
And Iowa State's leader in runs batted in extends it to 43 on the season for her, and the Cyclones with an early 1-0 lead here over the Red Raiders.
Tough unearned run for Kara Custer after that error by Camelo over at shortstop. Has Iowa State threatening still. Miller over at first and Tori Toscano. I know we were joking with some of the people up here in the press box about the over-under on Toscano's home runs. This wind is favoring her immensely.
Yeah, that wind, you can see the flagpole, Andrew, blowing out to straight away left center field. Pretty much straight center field, as we mentioned in the open. 28 mile per hour winds, 38 mile per hour gusts. So this thing is, it's blowing heavy out here.
Miller showing steal. She's not one of the faster Cyclones. I think just trying to put pressure on Texas Tech defensively. This account is even now 1-1. Toscano leads the team in home runs. Weather is favorable for another one today. That's a strike on the outside half. 1-2 the count to Toscano. Toscano leads the team in walks. And her patience has really improved this season from seasons past.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I mean, that patience is really paying off for her. And her average has dropped just a little bit.
Not patient on that one, though. A low pitch is swung on for strike 3. That's a second strikeout of the inning for Custer. And 2 outs now for Iowa State. Sarah Davison will step in, the second baseman. She's looking to get Miller home on some form of extra base hit. First pitch to her is swung on and fouled straight back. Oh, no, they're going to say it's a swing and a miss. And Miller's going to wind up at second on a wild pitch. It looked like she fouled that one off.
Yeah. Did look like she got a piece of it. That one scurried away behind the catcher, and Lexi Elkins a little bit confused, but nonetheless, Erica Miller moves over to second base.
Iowa State happy with that one as Miller moves into scoring position with 2 outs. She's going to give another big lead. Looks like Iowa State so far, when they have runners on, have been given those big leads. I think they want to put pressure on this infield.
And Lexi Elkins, the catcher for Texas Tech, they're going to try to put pressure on her with this wind blowing around. That ball could pretty much go anywhere, as we saw that one went into center field earlier.
The 0-2 to Davison is protect. That's a check-me-up swing over to third. It's going to be thrown back over to first, though, by Perez, and that will end the inning. Iowa State, though, does take a 1-0 lead, the first run of the ball game. Coming up for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, it will be Lexi Elkins, Samantha Camelo, and Katie Beth King. We'll be right back.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Are you really covered? Not all insurance is the same, and you should have an agent that takes the time to learn about what you need, then tailors a personalized plan that fits your needs. Middendorf Insurance is not like the rest. We're a cut above the crowd. Insurance for your business, farm, home, auto, or other assets. Middendorf Insurance Associates.
And welcome back to Iowa State Softball on Cyclones.tv. Tori Toscano will finish her warm-up tosses. She will pitch with a 1-0 lead as Texas Tech will have Lexi Elkins, the catcher, step in. And they'll try and chip away and get one back here in the top half of the second. And we're looking at that base hit from Miller as it scooted right out past second base. Matt, she hit that one fairly hard. And Reese, of course, reached on an error. And Texas Tech really gave that run away.
Yeah, Miller did a nice job as an inside-out pitch. Took it inside, just turned a little bit. Hit it right up the middle for a nice RBI single. The Cyclones with an early lead here, 1-0.
Toscano's first pitch to Elkins is inside for ball one. Although looked like they wanted to get that one. Lenzine was. She framed it nicely. It's a 1-0 count. Elkins, of course, had a wild throw to second. That could have spelled more trouble for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, but Reese slid head first into second base. Second pitch to Elkins is a strike. It's 1-1.
Elkins batting .278 on the year, 25 hits, 13 runs scored.
Samantha Camello on deck. That one is going to be on the outside corner, but low for ball two.
Red Raiders had runners on the corners in the top half of the first. Stranded two, though. Toscano did a nice job of getting out of some early trouble.
They do have a hit in this contest and a walk, and that's a swing and a miss for strike two. Toscano pitching with the lead once again for Iowa State. Looks like, Matt, when they're here at the Cyclone Sports Complex, this team really likes to play well. They bring out their A game.
And they haven't been able to practice out here lately with that rain we've been seeing. They had to practice indoors, and with this wind, it's just even more trouble for this team. But, I'm sure they're just glad to be out playing. We've had that rain all week long, just kind of hanging around. They're back here playing today, as we mentioned, 4-0 here at this brand-new facility.
Elkins grounded that one foul. She'll get the 2-2, and she'll swing and ground it the exact same spot again for strike two. Well, stay strike two, rather. 2-2 the count, nobody out. Elkins is in, digging in, trying to make up for some of those defensive errors. Camello would like to make up for her own error. She's in the on-deck circle. Toscano's 2-2. That one is way inside and almost hits her for ball three.
Yeah. Elkins didn't even move on that.
Elkins did not flinch.
No.
Well, the full count. Payoff pitch to Elkins as Toscano gets her sign from Lenzine. That one's outside for ball four. Let's put another base runner on for Texas Tech, the second walk of the contest for Toscano. Camello will dig in. The shortstop had an error back in that last part of the inning, and it led to a Cyclones run.
So that run for Custer in the bottom half of the first, unearned.
Camello digging in. She's hitting .301 on the season, 37 hits, 14 runs batted in, and she'll show bunt and do so. And Miller's up with it quickly, though. The throw over to Davison is in time. Sacrifice, though, is successful for Texas Tech, and that will move a runner over into scoring position with one out.
Beautiful execution there by Iowa State there on that bunt. Miller charging in, and the second baseman Davison just going over to cover. Got there in time for the nice, easy out.
So both teams did what they wanted to do right there. Texas Tech happy to give away an out to get a runner in scoring position for Katie Beth King, the designated player batting 407 appearances so far. She'll take a pitch that Lenzine will frame, but just a little bit outside, says the umpire, for ball one.
Well, just to give you an idea of how chilly it is out there, all the players wearing long sleeves, and you can see the runners out there. Lexi Elkins blowing on her hands, so a little bit chilly.
Toscano second. The 1-0 is low, makes it 2-0. All the infielders and outfielders with their hands in their pocket whenever the ball is in the glove of Toscano out there.
This cold temperature didn't shy away, though, Andrew Asai. He's out here, as always, in the crowd.
That one is swung on, driven very high, but way out of play over towards the batting cages for strike one.
Even saw some other student athletes out here recently drafted into the WNBA. Anna Prinz in attendance to today's game.
Congratulations, of course, to Prinz and Poppins, who earned those WNBA draft pick spots there. And that one swung on and fouled for strike two. Katie Beth King, dangerous hitter here. Only 7 games played. Already has 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in. Have to imagine that's why she's out there this afternoon. Not a whole lot of action so far this season. She's 4 for 10. On deck is Brooks Scott, the second baseman. That one swung on a line foul over the Texas Tech Red Raider dugout.
You can already tell King's right on Torrescano with some powerful foul balls, and she's right on her. So Torrescano evens the count at 2-2. The runner at second, 1 out.
No easy at-bats in this Texas Tech lineup. The 2-2 is swung on and missed, though, for strike 3. It's going to hit the ground, but no advancement over there at second base by Elkins. And the throw is successful from Lenzine over to Miller, and that will get out number 2. Call that one a strikeout, 2-3.
Well, a great pitch by Torrescano. Just got that one right where she wanted it, low in the zone. Lenzine did a very nice job of just smothering that one up, throwing on to first for the second out, and keeping Elkins over at second base, not advancing.
Taylor Powell will come in and pinch hit. Number 32. We'll have to see what's up with that one. Some changes over there from the Texas Tech dugout.
It's a good eye by you, Andrew. I didn't even notice that. Early substitutions for the Red Raiders. Could possibly be an injury or just a strategic move here.
Shannon Hayes out there, wheeling and dealing with the moves already in the bottom part of the second. Rather, the top half of the second. That one is low, though, for ball 1. That bottom part of the strike zone on that pitch. 1-0 the lead for Iowa State. 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. The 1-0 is low again. A throw from Lenzine just to keep the runner Elkins in check over there at second base. It's 2-0, though.
The Red Raiders left 2 runners on in the top half of the first. They've got 1 on here with 2 away.
Sun will peek out from behind the clouds. Won't warm up too much here on the 2-0. That one swung on and grounded over to Reese. She's going to throw across over to Miller. And it's dropped by Miller at first, and it looks like Elkins is going to come around and score on the error.
Uh-oh, we got an injury.
And it looks
Erica
like
Miller. Looks like her left thumb. She's not moving it at all.
And she is in a lot of pain right now.
That was a tough one. It looked like the inning was going to end the same way as the first. A nice, easy ground ball to Reese. That one got away from Miller, though. That one thrown to the right of the first base line. And Miller was not able to come up with it. She is in some pain, walking off the field now with the trainer. So it looks like we're going to get a substitution for Iowa State. Madison Jones in on the circle right now. Looks like we're going to get some sort of substitution. We'll let you know what that is when we find out. But just looks like a tough injury there for Miller. And that's a tough blow to the lineup as well for Iowa State.
So we will get a rotation over here. It looks like Taylor Smith will not get an RBI, but she'll be at first base. Texas Tech will score their first run of the ball game on an error. And it looked like, as you said, Miller's hand was jammed up. It was a good throw from Reese. It was on time and it was on line, but it looked like there might have been some form of collision. As we'll get Scott now, she'll come back in and run for Smith in her spot. Smith must be the flex player in this afternoon. But as you said, Matt, it looked like it was a bit of a tough play, as we'll get Allie Kappert now coming out over to first base, perhaps. And she'll come back in and talk to the rest of the infield. We'll wait to get word, though, on Erica Miller. It could be a big injury for the Cyclones if she's unable to go.
Well, it looked like she was holding out her left hand. Her thumb was not moving. Could have been some sort of dislocation in the thumb, but we already have one injured Iowa State starter. Sarah Harlock, usually playing right field for Iowa State, had a hand injury as well, had pulled a tendon in her hand, so a couple hand injuries for 2 of Iowa State's best players.
And Kappert's now going to come in here over at first as we welcome you back into the broadcast booth, Matt. Let's go ahead and set up the scenario. There are 2 outs still. Torrescano can get out of this inning without any more damage. But it looks like Iowa State, and really this cold weather, is affecting the infielders. I have a feeling that jams and things of that nature, they hurt more, of course, in this colder weather.
Well, absolutely. Anytime that wind's a factor, especially winds that are gusting almost up to 40 miles per hour, it's going to have a factor. Let's take a look at that replay here. Thrown over to Miller, and you can see right away her hand goes to grab that ball and throws it, and grimacing in pain. Her glove hand. So it looked like the runner just ran right into her hand. So tough situation for Iowa State. As we said, Allie Kappert moving over to first base for the Cyclones. Top of the order here for the Red Raiders.
We'll wait to see who will potentially bat for Miller. No word yet, but Mikey Kinney will step back in. She lined out to Spenlove and left. The first one to her is dropped by Lenzine behind the plate. Called a ball, I believe. And there was a big lead over there at first from Brooks Scott.
So Gappert now at first base, originally in this game as the designated player.
The 1-0 is outside and low for ball 2. And Matt, it looked like there was no collision on that throw to Miller as well. It looked like just wherever it landed in her glove, it jammed her thumb.
That could have been, yeah. I mean, we'll have to see that replay one more time.
That one is swung on and popped up on the infield. Davison will call for it, though, and that will end the inning. Texas Tech gets a run back on an error on the infield by the Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa State will look to get that lead back in the bottom half of the second. We'll be right back right here on Cyclones.tv.
Every day, insurance companies are telling you they're the coolest thing since sliced bread. What can I say?
If they can,
in Middendorf Insurance, we're still a whole loaf. Truth
Austin,
is,
if you can't
we
hear
write
us,
home,
they
auto,
can't.
business,
No, they
life,
can't.
and health
on
insurance.
break.
We don't have apps on smartphones or tablets. Why? A, it's expensive, and B, no app can advise you on possible coverage gaps. Give us 10 minutes. You may end up with better coverage and a better price.
The football playing field can be tough. Sometimes there are setbacks. No matter what, you keep playing the game.
Our field, no different.
Sometimes the challenges are tough here too.
Like when it's a drought.
But no matter what,
we work hard to feed and fuel America.
Iowa Corn, where every day is game day for Iowa's corn growers.
Happy Visha Week, everybody. Welcome back to the bottom half of the second as Iowa State takes on Texas Tech. It's a 1-1 ball game. Jordan Spenlove, Allie Kappert, and Hallie Lenzine will be in the lineup for the Cyclones. And this cold weather looks like it's already playing a bit of a factor. We're still waiting word yet on whether or not Erica Miller will come into bat. We'll probably find out as soon as she comes back, her spot rather comes back through the lineup. Iowa State, though, looking to get a run back off of Kara Custer. They did so back in the first off of an error. Maddie Reese scored on a base hit from Miller. Spenlove, the lefty, will step in, though. The first pitch to her is outside for ball 1.
Jordan Spenlove batting .297 on the year, tied for first with the team at 10 doubles on the year. 29 runs batted in for her as well.
A 1-0 to Spenlove is swung on a missed. Strike 1. Thanks so much for everyone tuning in, of course, this afternoon and taking time out of the Visha festivities to watch some Cyclone softball. A nice crowd filling in back here at the Cyclone Sports Complex as we get into the late evening, afternoon hours. That one is swung on a miss as well for strike 2.
Well, we've talked about it all game long, that wind howling to straightaway left center field. But it's pretty nice out here, Andrew. That sun just coming in and out. A little bit of cloud coverage here this afternoon.
The 1-2 is Spenlove. Check swing, no swing. It's low for ball 2. Custer already has 2 strikeouts this afternoon. 1 charged to Gomez and 1 to Toscano. The 2-2 is inside for ball 3. Full count.
We've already seen from Custer, she can throw that ball pretty hard in there. She mixes up her speeds well. Already caught a couple Cyclones off guard, but did give up that 1 run early on. Erica Miller driving in Maddie Reese.
Payoff pitch is grounded over to first, and that's a foul ball. James was up with it quickly over there at first, looking to possibly catch her running down the first baseline. Count will remain 3-2, though.
1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for both teams in this game. Identical.
That one swung on a miss for strike 3, the third strikeout of the afternoon for Custer, and Allie Kappert will step in. Kappert hit her first home run as a Cyclone last week against Drake. It put Iowa State ahead on a pinch hit 2-run home run to straightaway center. A lot of power from the freshman from Ankeny.
Kappert, as we mentioned earlier, filling in for Erica Miller at first base after Miller exiting this game with an apparent hand injury.
First one to her is way outside for ball 1. Kappert, the lefty. It looks like that wind today is just blowing out of the park entirely, so both righties and lefties are going to love the way the wind is blowing. It's a 1-0 count. Custer will get her sign and deliver, and that's outside as well for ball 2.
Hallie Lenzine in the on-deck circle for Iowa State.
Kappert digs back in with a 2-0. Custer will get her sign and fire. That one's dropped behind the plate by Elkins for ball 3.
Capper, the freshman from Ankeny. As you mentioned, Andrew had that big home run against Strike to put the Cyclones ahead. She's batting .217 on the year, 810 hits, 9 driven in.
The 3-0 to her is a strike on the outside corner for strike one. And that .217 number is an improvement. When we started broadcasting games, of course, she was hovering below that 200 line. And since then, she's really improved offensively. The 3-1 to her quickly fired in on a fastball for strike two. Same spot as the 3-1.
Well, just 46 at-bats on the season for Kappert. So recently been getting that playing time as the designated player, as we mentioned, at first base in this game.
3-2 to her is swung on and missed for strike three. Custer will dig back from 3-0 and strike out Kappert. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and Hallie Lenzine will step in, the catcher.
Well, as you mentioned in the pregame, Andrew, Custer does a very good job of striking out batters. Had 100 in this game, so that brings her up to 104 on the year. Impressive numbers for her in the pitching circle.
In 141 innings, though, maybe not her marquee to get some strikeouts, but certainly has that fastball working. She'll throw it there for strike one.
Well, these conditions today, Andrew, with the wind howling, you're going to have to throw a lot of fastballs. If you take anything off of it, that ball's going to be moving around.
That one had movement on it anyways. That moves inside for ball one. Lenzine, the catcher this afternoon. A lot of great throws all season long for the Cyclones from behind the plate. The 1-1 to her. That one's inside as she'll turn, and it's 2-1. 2 down here in the bottom part of the second. It's a tie ball game between Iowa State and Texas Tech. That wind is howling out there, folks. Gust up to 40 miles an hour. We can hear it up here in the booth. The 2-1 to Lenzine is also inside for ball three. So back-to-back batters with 3-1 counts. Rather, that's a strike, actually.
Okay.
That looked way inside.
Yeah, we've seen this. Late calls by the umpire, so our apologies. 2-2 the count. 2 away here, the bottom of the second. That
one swung on a miss, so Custer will strike out the side. Iowa State will sit down in order on strikeouts, and Tori Toscano will come back and pitch to the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the top half of the third right here on Cyclones.tv.
Iowa State fans, this is the time to get on board with Cyclones.tv.
Welcome everybody on Cyclones.tv for tuning in.
We have a special moment for Ryan and Anna, if I can get it out of my pocket.
Well, I mean, our expectations are that Russell's hard as we can.
She's going to be a superstar this year.
A basketball program needs leaders. Edgem is just that.
Will Clyburne's got it stuck on automatic. Anna Prinz, three-pointer is up. It's good!
Sorry, I got to get my Cyclones.tv some love here.
Sign up today at www.cyclones.tv.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex. It's Iowa State softball on Cyclones.tv. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Tori Toscano, the senior on the mound for the Cyclones, will have to deal with the 2, 3, and 4. Shelby Johnson, Caitlin Williams, and Sandy James. A lot of senior leadership out there in that middle part of the Texas Tech lineup. Johnson will step in. She walked back in the first and stole a base, but was stranded out on third. Williams on deck had a base hit. Toscano will get her sign from Lenzine. The first pitch is inside for ball one.
1-1 the score here at the Cyclone Sports Complex, as we mentioned. Windy game here. It's already had a factor in this game on a couple throws, a couple hits in this game.
The 1-0. Same spot inside for ball two. As Matt alluded to back in the bottom half of the second, going shot for shot here. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error per team. It's a 2-0 count to Shelby Johnson. That one's a strike as that tails over the outside corner for strike one. It's a 2-1 count to Johnson. So we said, Matt, a lot of senior leadership on this team for Texas Tech, a very experienced team. Iowa State will have no easy outs in this lineup.
A lot of depth on this team as well. As we mentioned, Katie Beth King in this game hasn't played a whole lot, but a big impact for this team already this season with a couple of homers, batting .400 on the young season for her.
Johnson will look at strike 2, and that's a 2-2 count. That one just misses. Torrescano wanted that one. Count runs full, though. It's the payoff pitch coming up from Tori Torrescano.
Caitlin Williams on deck for the Red Raiders, who's got the only hit in the game for the Red Raiders.
3-2. Low. Yep, that's low for ball 4.
Looked like a good pitch by Torrescano. I think she wanted that one, but a walk for Johnson.
We were waiting for the umpire.
Yeah.
She took her mask off. I wasn't sure if she was going to ring her up or what, but she watched her walk on down to first base. So another base runner for Texas Tech here in the top half of the 3rd.
And another walk for Johnson, her second in the game.
A lot of speed over there at first, and Johnson, that's a strike on the inside corner. Johnson with a big lead. She stole a base back in the 1st. As we said earlier, Caitlin Williams, she leads the team in average, 372, 13 doubles as well. She'll swing and drive that one back towards Davison, but Davison is back on it. She'll throw back to first, and she'll be safe as the throw is a little bit low, but Davison did a good job ranging back behind her on that bloop line drive, if you can have one of those. It was a soft liner over to second. Davison up with it, though, for the first out.
Yeah, Davison did a good job of just tracking back right across the infield dirt. Made a nice catch. Probably had a little more time than she thought to throw over to first base, but Johnson gets back safely to first.
The first pitch to Sandy James is a strike. 0-1 the count to her. She struck out, the only strikeout victim, rather the second strikeout victim for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. 0-1 the count to her. There's one out. And it looks like Johnson's off with the pitch, and she'll be in safely over at second on ball 1. So 1-1 count now, another runner in scoring position. Johnson has her second stolen base of the afternoon.
Well, I think Lenzine knew that she was going to be going on the pitch. That ball was a little bit low and inside for Lenzine. Didn't have a good chance to throw, but she made a nice throw nonetheless.
Pitch to James is inside for ball 2. Big lead once again from Johnson. It's 2-1 count, a 1-1 ball game. Runner in scoring position for the Red Raiders. Torrescano looking to get out of it. You can see her line right now so far. 3 walks on the afternoon. Not a little bit lower than usual, actually. And that one swung on and missed by James for strike 2.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw back in the first inning. Johnson reaching first base safely on a walk. Was stranded at third base.
Torrescano heading the count on the 2-2 pitch. The off-speed pitch is low for ball 3.
Well, that's where she wanted that pitch. Low and outside. That's the strikeout pitch, right where you want it if you're a pitcher. Get that ground ball with a runner on second base.
Oh, another payoff pitch from Torrescano. That one swung on and missed. Another strikeout at James. Gets the second out of the inning.
3 strikeouts for Torrescano in this ball game. And once again, doing a nice job of getting out of a jam with a runner in scoring position.
Looks like James is not able to see her off-speed stuff. Be up to Adriana Perez. She's grounded out to Reese back in the 1st. First pitch to her is a strike on the inside part for strike 1.
Shelby Johnson getting really far off second base after the delivery. Lenzine has a close eye on her. She could snap down there and try to pick her off.
Johnson, big lead once again on a swing and a miss from Perez. Quickly count 0-2. Johnson would likely score on any sort of base hit out of the infield. Great speed at second base.
Leading the team, 16 stolen bases for her.
2 this afternoon as well. Torrescano's pitch is lined out to deep right center field, and that one is gone. That wind did not help the Cyclones on that one as Perez shoots an opposite field home run to deep right center field, and the Red Raiders will take a 3-1 lead.
Well, Perez, we mentioned it in the open. She has 13 home runs to lead the Red Raiders. That's her 14th, and that puts the Red Raiders ahead 3-1 in this ball game.
And Matt, not the pitch you typically want to see there with 2 strikes, as that one probably caught a little bit too much at the plate. And she just had a nice solid line drive out there to right, and I think the wind picked it up just enough. And as we can already see that wind is playing a huge factor so far into this game.
Well, Gomez tracked back, and you thought she might have a chance in it, but she just looked over the wall, and that one got over.
That one almost hits Lexi Elkins. No runners on base now. There are 2 outs. It's a 1-out count to Elkins. She walked back in the second.
And came around to score for the first Red Raider run. 3-1 here, the score.
Pitch. Low for ball 2.
So we thought Torrescano might get out of that jam after the strikeout of James, but Adriana Perez doing some damage here.
That one swung on and lined into deep left center field. Gomez will not be able to get to that one, and it looks like Elkins is going to round the bases, and she'll come in standing, but that great relay throw from Gomez almost caught her there. I think she might have wanted to slide on that one, but she's safe nonetheless. A 2-out double for Texas Tech by Lexi Elkins, and Camelo will step in.
And we're going to get a visit here to the mound to Torrescano, and the infield will come in and talk with the runner on second base, 2 away here. Yeah, you thought Gomez might get a chance to throw out Elkins there on that double. Did a nice job of getting to it, but a little bit of trouble here for Torrescano here in the third.
Texas Tech looks like they're seeing her a little bit better, and we go back and we'll look at Elkins' hit right here, but I did want to go back to the Perez home run. But that one was lined, once again, back-to-back line drives, and as the relay got into Davison, I think Elkins probably wanted to slide there. But let's go back to that home run by Perez, and really, it was an 0-2 count. And, Matt, you see it so often, that waste pitch at an 0-2 count, but we didn't see it there from Torrescano. It was very surprising.
And then we see the home run again as we see a fly ball into right field. Jones diving in and makes the catch.
And yes, they're going to say she's out. It was a great play over there in right field by Jones as she dove. And it looked like Texas Tech didn't think so much that was a catch. But that is going to end the inning on a great play out there in right field. Iowa State will try and come back and get 2 of those runs back after the break right here on Cyclones.tv.
Hi, I'm John Walters. Ames is the home of the Cyclones and so much more.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
And welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex here in Ames, Iowa, as we'll get the final warm-up tosses here from Texas Tech's Kara Custer. Iowa State looking to get back into this one. It's a 3-1 game. By no means this game over, of course, but Iowa State gives up 2 runs, Matt, on a really tough 0-2 pitch and just a great piece of hitting out there by Adriana Perez.
Yeah, Torrescano had 2 away, runner at second base, and that nice poke by Perez right out to right center field. That one got a little help from the wind, carried right over the wall to give the lead to the Red Raiders.
The first pitch of Lexi Slater is a strike on the inside half. Runs a count 2-0-1. Slater, last time you saw her on Cyclones.tv against Oklahoma State, had a 2-home-run game. She has 2 home runs on the season, 16 driven in. Typically the 8 or 9 spot hitter. She'll take strike 2 on the outside corner.
Well, the Red Raiders scoring their first run on that error at third base, and Erica Miller at first, injured on the play, and she's been out of this game. We haven't had an update on her yet.
That one swung on and chopped foul at the plate. Count is 0-2.
Obviously a tough blow for this Iowa State offense. Brittany Gomez, top of the order for the Cyclones on deck. We'll see Miller's spot pretty soon. We're curious to see who will be filling in there.
Davison will show bunt with 2 strikes, likely not to. That one's in on her hands for ball 1. Slater looking to get things started here for Iowa State. As you said, scored a run back in the first. But 3 straight strikeouts from Kara Custer back in the second. Iowa State looking to end that streak at this at bat. The 1-2 to Slater is bounced at the plate for ball 2.
Good patience there by Slater. She's batting .211 on the year, 23 hits, 16 batted in.
This Iowa State lineup very deep as well. The 2-2. Kara Custer is going to look and get her sign and fire. That's outside for ball 3. So a full count to Slater, the leadoff hitter in the bottom part of the third for Iowa State with Brittany Gomez on deck.
So if the Cyclones can get Slater on here, they can do some damage with their fastest runner, Brittany Gomez, on deck.
3-2. The payoff is swung on over to third. Perez is up with it. She'll throw over to James at first, and that will retire the first batter for Iowa State, and in steps in Brittany Gomez, the center fielder. Gomez struck out to start things off in this contest for Iowa State. She's 0 for 1 this afternoon. Custer pitching very well so far, and really the only run scored for Iowa State was via the error by Maddie Reese's at bat over at short. First pitch to Gomez is a called strike on the inside half. 4 strike 1.
Yeah, just a booted ball by Camelo in the first inning, and really a very efficient job by Custer so far in this game.
The 0-1 to Gomez. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Iowa State having a lot of trouble seeing Custer.
Yeah, struck out the side in the second inning, had a pair in the first. Got 5 on the game.
Another 0-2 count to Gomez, and that one swung on and missed. 3 pitches there to Gomez, and that's another strikeout for Custer. Maddie Reese will step in. And Erica Miller is on the on-deck circle. No, never mind. She is not. Leanna Henry is on the on-deck circle. I saw
you
zero
saw
on the
0.
second half.
Yeah.
So
Henry's just a little shorter than Miller.
She'll be in the on-deck circle.
Okay.
The first pitch to Reese is inside for ball 1. Reese looking to get a bit of a 2-out rally here started for Iowa State. She reached on an error at shortstop back in the first. The second pitch to her just misses outside for ball 2. Reese ahead here. It's a 3-1 ball game. Texas Tech leading after a 2-run home run in the top half of this inning. Custer's pitch is swung on and flied out to center field, but Mickey Kenny will camp under it for out number 3. Iowa State goes down 1-2-3 once again. Toscano will be back in the top half of the fourth. Matt Van Winkle will have the 4th, 5th, and 6th for you coming up next on Cyclones.tv.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Are you really covered? Not all insurance is the same, and you should have an agent that takes the time to learn about what you need, then tailors a personalized plan that fits your needs. Middendorf Insurance is not like the rest. We're a cut above the crowd. Insurance for your business, farm, home, auto, or other assets. Middendorf Insurance Associates.
Top of the fourth here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. Texas Tech leading Iowa State by a score of 3-1. Katie Beth King, Brooke Scott, and Mikey Kenny due up for the Red Raiders. Red Raiders doing some damage back in the third inning with a home run by Adriana Perez, a 2-run shot with 2 outs, Andrew. Put the Red Raiders ahead, and now with Kara Custer on the mound for the Red Raiders, doing a very efficient job. Toscano hoping to do the same here, get a 1-2-3 inning as well.
Really trying to keep this one a 3-1 ball game. Iowa State has a lot of offensive firepower. Still a long ways away from being over in this one.
First pitch to King is outside for ball 1. Toscano got out of a jam in the first inning, but not able to do the same in the second and the third. Here's the second pitch, and that's another ball outside to King. So 2-0 the count to her. So we will see Brooke Scott on deck. She was, looks like a pinch hit. Taylor Powell was in the first inning. The 2-0 pitch is fouled away by King. So a little bit of confusion there back in the second, by Taylor Powell coming into bat in that 9th spot, but it will be Brooke Scott, the second baseman, in on deck. But Katie Beth King in the batter's box for the Red Raiders. Here's the 2-1 pitch to her, and swung on and missed. Evens the count at 2-2.
Powell reached on that error, that controversial play back there in the second where Miller got hurt, and really that's where the scoring started for Texas Tech.
2-2 pitch, a changeup, swung on and missed, and a strikeout for Toscano to start off the inning.
Toscano's really had that off-speed pitch working so far in this game, and
she has
really able to have control of it. And the only mistake she's had so far has been that home run pitch to Perez back in the 3rd. Other than that, she's really been hitting her spots well. Few walks here and there, but she's been able to kind of wiggle out of danger again as well.
First pitch called for a strike. Texas Tech leading 3-1, as we said, top of the 4th inning. 1 away. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Scott, and that one's in the other batter's box just a bit outside.
Scott looks like she doesn't hit too often for herself. They like to probably pull Powell in every now and then. Scott is 4 for 40 on the season coming in this afternoon, 4 for 41 after that first at bat.
The 1-1 pitch called for a strike 2. 1-2 the count now to Scott. Toscano did a nice job with that strikeout, hoping to get a 1-2-3 inning here and get the Cyclones back to score some runs on offense. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled. Way out of play. So we'll remain at 1-2.
We're back by those batting cages over there, and Powell is typically the hitter in that spot, it looks like. She started 39 games. She did not start today, though. 29 hits on the season, and she, of course, reached on that last one. So looking to just probably get her some at-bats here.
The 1-2 pitch in the dirt to Scott. So good idea by Toscano to keep that one low, but just a little bit too low. You can see Toscano blowing on her hand out there. It is a chilly day here in Ames. The 2-2 pitch is low, so that draws a full count to Scott, who's been pretty patient at this at-bat, fouled off a couple pitches, and now works the count full.
And you'd like to see Toscano be aggressive here, especially with this bottom part of the lineup. She can't be spooked by that home run.
The payoff pitch is inside, so Scott will reach on a walk, and that brings up the top of the order for the Red Raiders, Mikey Kinney. So Toscano going 0-2 to Scott, and a walk, Andrew. That's not what you want to see if you're Toscano. Extra pitches and runners on base now for the Red Raiders.
And I know your defense might be a little bit banged up today, but they made a couple of great plays already as well this afternoon. You like to pitch to contact sometimes with that bottom part of the lineup. You got to be aggressive.
So Brooke Scott at first after the walk got a nice lead out there, kind of hopping around. So Hallie Lenzine, the catcher for the Cyclones, going to want to keep an eye on her. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Kenny. Looked like she was going to go again in a throwdown by Lenzine. That was late. So they're going to keep an eye on her. Erica Miller, as we said, injured in this game. And now Allie Cappert over there. The 2-0 pitch by Toscano is inside for a 3-0 count now. Looks like Hallie Lenzine's going to go out and talk to her senior pitcher, Tori Toscano. It's a one-on-one visit with her. Andrew, what do you think she's saying to the pitcher now?
Well, just probably throw strikes, and it's a very tough day to do that, of course. Very easier said than done. Toscano, a lot of experience out there in the mound, or circle rather. She knows what she needs to do out there. She doesn't want to give one away here, though.
Shelby Johnson on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's called for a strike right down the plate. Good job by Toscano to just kind of settle down, and Lenzine obviously said something to her to kind of settle her down one away here in the top of the fourth. 3-1 pitch. It's hit right at the second baseman, Davison, and she's going to double up Scott for the third out of the inning. So a double play gets Toscano out of a bit of a jam, and it remains 3-1. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Cyclones trailing 3-1.
Every day, insurance companies are telling you they're the coolest thing since sliced bread. What can I say? In Mittendorf Insurance, we're still a whole loaf. Truth is, we write home, auto, business, life, and health insurance. We don't have apps on smartphones or tablets. Why? A, it's expensive, and B, no app can advise you on possible coverage gaps. Give us 10 minutes. You may end up with better coverage and a better price.
The football playing field can be tough. Sometimes there are setbacks. No matter what, you keep playing the game.
Our field is no different.
Sometimes the challenges are tough here too.
Like when it's a drought.
But no matter what,
We work hard to feed and fuel America.
Iowa Corn, where every day is game day for Iowa's corn growers.
A beautiful defensive play ends the top half of the fourth for Iowa State as they get back, and they'll try to score some runs here on offense, trailing 3-1 against Texas Tech, Andrew. And Iowa State, as we mentioned, without Erica Miller, we'll see Liana Henry now bat for her. Torrescano and Davison also due up here in the bottom half of the fourth. But Erica Miller, as we're going to, there's that nice play to end that inning, a beautiful double play. Andrew, as we mentioned, some nice defensive plays. We saw a couple injuries in this game. Some of the key starters for Iowa State out in this game, but some nice defensive plays already.
Well, yeah, and Davison out there has been excellent at second base. She's played an excellent second base really all season when we've seen her. And it looked like Scott was off with the pitch on that one, as we saw on that replay. And that kind of bit Texas Tech a little bit. They didn't want to run out of that inning, but they did.
Here's Liana Henry, the designated player now for Iowa State. Erica Miller, who she's replacing, has the only run batted in this game for the Cyclones as they trail 3-1. Here's the 1-0 pitch to her, called for a strike on the outside corner.
Custer's really had that fastball working today, and that's really how she's gotten Iowa State out. She's just overpowered them so far. It looks like it's got a little bit of that outside to inside movement to those right-handed batters. Really tough to see.
6 strikeouts already in the game for Custer. As you said, that fastball has been very effective for her. That's all she's really needed today. The 1 run coming on an error, though. The 2-1 pitch is low for 3-1 to the junior.
Iowa State, very deep team, though, and of course they're going to miss Miller in this contest. Hope she's all right, but a lot of deep bats, and Henry's not afraid to swing it as we see her swing on that one. She really, when she swings, she does it with a purpose.
Yeah, she's going to try to put some power. 3-2 count now to her. Custer with the payoff pitch coming. Here it is, and it's swung on and fouled away, so Henry staying alive with a 3-2 count.
And I've seen a couple times. I've seen Henry so far this season here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. You don't see a lot of those half swings or any of those swings that are meant to kind of just get it to the right side of the field. She loves to just rip it and grip it.
The 3-2 pitch by Henry fouled off again, so doing a nice job once again by staying alive, getting an extra pitch, and for Custer, getting some extra pitches out of her.
More you can see that moving, riding fastball, the easier it is going to, take one, time one, and drive it out to left.
Torrescano, the slugger, on deck, but here's Henry. The 3-2 pitch is fouled once again. So just 3 straight foul balls by Henry. Stacey Meinhardt-Sessler's got to be happy with this at bat.
Well, and of course, Henry, the aggressive swinger, trying to hit every one of those fastballs, and looks like Custer's trying to do this afternoon. It's a tough day to kind of get out of the dugout. Henry a little bit cold. She has yet to be in this game.
And there's the strike 3 pitch by Custer, her 7th of the game. So she's just racking them up here, Andrew. 7 strikeouts for Custer. But that'll bring up the slugger, Tori Torrescano, who was a strikeout victim back in the first.
Really aggressive swings from Henry. It was a good battle from her.
It was.
Great, tough 3-2 pitches to foul off, but just a little bit extra on that last fastball.
Here's the senior. Hits one hard in the hole to Camelo. Deep in the hole and throws on to first for the out. What a play by Samantha Camelo for Texas Tech. And Torrescano is retired. Wow, what a play.
And that was a hard hit ball deep in the hole over there at shortstop. As you said, Camelo makes up for that error back in the first inning. Throws one on a hop. A great pick over there by James. Retires Torrescano, who was running as hard as she could over there to first, but just great defense by Texas Tech.
So Samantha Camelo picking up her pitcher Custer for the second out of the inning. That brings up the junior Sarah Davison. Davison grounded out to third back in the first. So Davison hoping to keep this inning alive for the Cyclones. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's inside for a ball.
Davison hopes that some of that defensive momentum, she's made a couple great plays over there at second base so far, will carry and translate to the offensive side.
As you said, Davison ended the top half of the fourth for the Cyclones with a nice line drive, double play out. 3-0 the count to her now. Jordan Spenlove on deck for the Cyclones. Here's the 3-0 and the walk to Davison. So the Cyclones extending this inning with their first base runner.
It's their first base runner in quite some time. Custer had retired 10 Cyclones in a row, starting with Toscano's strikeout back in the first. In that time frame, 6 strikeouts. Dominating performance so far by Custer. Davison hoping to break that momentum a little bit.
That brings up the sophomore from San Antonio, Jordan Spenlove, the left fielder for Iowa State. With 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Cyclones down 3-1. On a windy day here at the Cyclone Sports Complex, that wind playing around with the ball just a little bit. We've seen a couple of home runs carry out of here. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's swung on and missed by Spenlove, so it draws the count to 0-2.
Really, we haven't seen Iowa State take advantage of that wind yet either. Only one ball really that's traveled outside of the infield on that base hit by Miller, and that was a ground ball. And Iowa State doesn't want to pop them up, but they'd like to see some fly balls here.
The 0-2 pitch fouled back. Elkins won't be able to get to that one, so Spenlove staying alive with 2 away.
That one fouled off her hands, and it looked like that could have hung up long enough for Elkins to possibly get there, and maybe not the wind on that one, but almost a tough break there for Spenlove.
Well, with that wind blowing to left field, that ball is going to stay in play as much as it can. That one was able to get out, but here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's outside. A good pitch by Custer, trying to get Spenlove to chase.
Custer just loves that fastball, and I think that's kind of her go-to pitch. We've seen a couple different pitchers this season here at the Cyclone Sports Complex feature some great changeups. We saw that from Drake. Just a stark contrast in style here from Texas Tech.
The 1-2 to Spenlove looks low in the dirt. So she evens the count at 2-2. 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Cyclones just with 1 hit in that game. That one, an Erica Miller base hit, an RBI single, the only run of the game for the Cyclones. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Spenlove. 8 strikeouts in the game for Kara Custer, who maintains Texas Tech's lead at 3-1. We'll head to the top of the fifth. Cyclones trailing 3-1. You're listening to Cyclones.tv.
Iowa State fans, this is the time to get on board with Cyclones.tv.
Welcome everybody on Cyclones.tv for tuning in.
We have a special moment for Ryan and Anna, if I can get it out of my pocket.
Well, I mean, our expectations are that Russ as hard as we can.
She's going to be a superstar this year.
A basketball program needs leaders. Edgem is just that.
Will Clyburne's got it stuck on automatic. Anna Prinz, 3-pointer is up. It's good!
Sorry, I gotta get my Cyclones.tv some love here.
Sign up today at www.cyclones.tv.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
3-1, Cyclones trail it here in the top of the fifth. Tori Torrescano trying to repeat what she did back in the fourth inning. Really a 1-2-3 inning as ending the inning on a double play. A nice play by Sarah Davison, but the Cyclone infield will regroup here and try to maintain this 3-1 game, Andrew.
Well, and that's a pitcher's best friend, and not, as you said, the traditional 1-2-3, but obviously the goal every inning is to keep it to a 3 base runner or 3 at-bat inning, and really a great play by Davison as she ranged back on that line drive and made a solid throw over to first, as it looked like Scott was kind of wandering off.
Caught off guard, just caught in between and doubled up. That'll bring up Johnson, Williams, James for the Red Raiders here in the fifth. First pitch to Johnson is taken for a called strike.
Johnson's really showed off her speed so far. She scored a run back in the third, 2 stolen bases and 2 walks. Dangerous 2-hole hitter here.
The 0-1 to her, taken for a second called strike. So a nice job by Toscano, already working Johnson to an 0-2 count. Probably wants to stay far away from the plate here. You can see the corner infielders for Iowa State, and Kappert and Reese playing in. Here's the 0-2 pitch, a nice pitch on the outside corner. Just a changeup. Took a little bit off that one, but that's right where she wanted it, Andrew.
It is, and of course, she doesn't have to worry as much about her 0-2 placement here. Williams, likely to keep this one in the park, really relies on her speed.
The 1-2 pitch to Johnson is low and inside. 2-2 the count.
And Toscano, when she has been missing, has not been missing by much. That was a great 2-2 pitch. It was low, of course, but really, she's hitting her spots fairly well, and that's just that one mistake.
The 2-2 pitch is hit into left field, shallow left, and Lexi Slater ranges to her right to make the over-the-head catch for the first out of the inning.
And just a nice, solid play once again. That's a good strength, kind of an underrated strength for this Iowa State team. Really known for their offensive play, one of the better offenses in the Big 12 Conference. But it's that defense that's really kept them in a lot of these games here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. Slater ranging back on what couldn't have been a very easy pop-up. That win playing tricks with everybody.
The right fielder, Caitlin Williams, steps in. She's 1 for 2 on the day. She fouls off that first pitch. Williams singled back in the first, flew out to Sarah Davison back in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch to her. And it's taken for a called second strike. So a nice job by Toscano once again, going 0-2.
She's got some great movement this afternoon on that fastball of hers. It's really tailing out and away from the lefty there in Williams.
Toscano settling in here. These last couple innings, that pitch is outside, but no harm done. 1-2 the count to Caitlin Williams.
Toscano shakes her head a little bit. I think she missed the grip on that one. Looked like that fastball, but released it just a tick possibly too late there as that one was low.
The pitch is hit foul down the third base line. So Williams staying alive. Yeah, Andrew, with these cold temperatures, that ball may just slip out of the hands of Toscano. You can see her blowing on that hand, just trying to keep it warm. You can see all the players just wearing batting gloves, blowing on their hands, keeping in their pockets, trying to keep their hands warm today. The 1-2 to Williams is outside, so another 2-2 count. Good patient at bat here by Williams.
Of course, Toscano from Southern California, not used to this weather this afternoon, but she's been in Iowa long enough.
Yeah, you're going to say, you hope she's used to it by her senior season. The 2-2 pitch to Williams is flown to Kappert, and the easy play by the first baseman for the second out of the inning. So another easy out by Toscano, hoping to get another 1-2-3 inning here.
Sandy James, who's stepping in, has really struggled. And you have to like the pitch selection this half inning for Toscano. She's really being aggressive and trying to get on the hands of these batters. And we've really seen it in the form of 2 straight pop-ups. And that's what you'd like to see if you're Toscano.
So here's Sandy James, the first baseman for the Red Raiders. She's struck out twice already today. Toscano trying to make it 3 here.
There's really 2 ways you can pitch a power hitter. You can try and make them pop it up, try and get them to try and hit those fly balls by pitching up and in, or you can try and hit it low. And she's tried both and really had success both ways so far.
The 0-1 pitch is taken low and outside. Looks for a called strike. Okay, 0-2 the count now to James. So 3 times this inning, Toscano's worked an 0-2 count. Here's the delivery, and that one's low. Smothered up by Lenzine. So a 1-2 count to James.
Really, Toscano pitching so far and really looking solid in this part of the inning. And it's tough. She's been out in that cold weather now for a long time.
The 1-2 pitch to James is outside for 2-2. So another 2-2 count. We've seen pretty much identical at-bats from these 3 Texas Tech Red Raiders. Adriana Perez on deck with that big home run back in the third, a 2-run blast that put the Red Raiders up by 2. The 2-2 pitch to James by Toscano is outside, so she works the count to full.
And Toscano with 2 strikes is really attacking the outside part, and she's gotten the 2 pop-ups by pitching inside and getting it on the hands of those Texas Tech hitters.
The payoff pitch to James is up and outside for the walk, so Toscano starting with an 0-2 count on James. 4 straight balls by her.
And I didn't want to jinx it when I said she was pitching well, but she looked like she did not want to go inside on James. She was more comfortable going inside the hands on Caitlin Williams and Shelby Johnson, and with a lot of success there. And that walk isn't too dangerous, but of course Perez was dangerous last inning.
And that brings up the Red Raider slugger, who hits one into the left hole for a base hit. So her second hit of the ball game already for Perez. Keeps this inning alive for the Red Raiders.
Perez looks like she sees Toscano fairly well. She hit a sharp ground ball back in the first as well, and really just a dangerous part of the lineup. I think the saving grace, though, of course, is that the 6, 7, 8 part is not as dangerous. Still very dangerous part, but not as dangerous as that 3, 4, 5. So if you're going to give up singles and walks, it's not a terrible spot to do it.
So runners at first and second now for the Red Raiders. 2 away, top of the 5th inning. Cyclones trailing 3-1. Lexi Elkins, the catcher for the Red Raiders, doubled back in the third and walked in the second, came around to score. Here's the 1-0 pitch to her. Hits one hard on the short to Slater. Nice play by her to pick it up and end the threat for the Cyclones. So 2 runners left on base for the Red Raiders. 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. Cyclones coming up in the bottom of the 5th. They trail it 3-1.
Every day, insurance companies are telling you they're the coolest thing since sliced bread. What can I say? In Mittendorf Insurance, we're still a whole loaf. Truth is, we write home, auto, business, life, and health insurance. We don't have apps on smartphones or tablets. Why? A, it's expensive, and B, no app can advise you on possible coverage gaps. Give us 10 minutes. You may end up with better coverage and a better price.
The football playing field can be tough. Sometimes there are setbacks. No matter what, you keep playing the game.
Our field is no different.
Sometimes the challenges are tough here too.
Like when it's a drought.
But no matter what,
we work hard to feed and fuel America.
Iowa Corn, where every day is game day for Iowa's corn growers.
Kappert, Lenzine, Slater due up for the Cyclones in the bottom half of the 5th. They trail it 3-1, but the Cyclones getting out of a jam back in the top half of the 5th. As we see Stacey Gemeinhardt-Sessler has got to be happy with her team, Andrew. The middle infield in particular making some beautiful plays here this afternoon.
And really, Iowa State is one of those teams that's going to give up a few runs. The pitching staff not overpowering, but they rely on that great middle infield defense. And we saw Slater there back at shortstop with a great pick as the runner from second was crossing across her, James she was crossing in front of her. Looked like it might have hit her. Of course, if that would have been the case, she would have been out anyway. But a very tough play, but a very well executed play to end another inning and a great solid throw, really. And that's a strength of this team, is that middle defense with Gomez out there in center field with her speed, and then the 2 middle infielders and Slater and Davison have just great solid arms and great range to get back on some of those batted balls.
Here's Allie Kappert, the first baseman, who came in for Erica Miller, who was injured back in the second. The Cyclones scored first in the first inning, scoreless since. They trail at 3-1 here in the bottom half of the 5th. 2-0 the count to Kappert, the freshman from Ankeny. Custer, very impressive for the Red Raiders so far. 8 strikeouts for her through 4 innings pitched. The 2-0 pitch by Kappert. Good patience there. 3-0 the count now to her.
Custer not missing by a whole lot there on that last one. And as you said, great patience. Custer has been dealing. Her fastball is tailing. It is moving. It is tough to see.
3-0 pitch, and that's outside. So Kappert draws the walk, and the Cyclones with an early threat here in the bottom half of the 5th.
It looked like 3 of those fastballs were really tough right there, as it looks like we'll get Stacey Gemeinhardt-Sessler to come in, and we'll get a courtesy runner for Kappert over there at first base.
And look who it is. It's Sarah Harluck, the injured Cyclone in this game. It was a kind of a game-time decision for her. She had that injured right hand, or that injured left hand. It looks like she's got that brace out there, but she's going to run here for Allie Kappert as a courtesy runner.
We will likely see
pinch runner.
If she does run, she will likely be sliding in feet first. Does not want to re-injure that wrist. She wants to get back and swinging, and I think Iowa State has missed her in that 2-hole so far. And Maddie Reese doing an excellent job in that spot, but really Harluck's speed is a game changer up there with Gomez.
So here's Hallie Lenzine. The catcher for the Cyclones struck out back in the second. This is just her second at bat. The Red Raiders have already had most of their hitters already with 3 at bats in this game. But Lenzine struck out in the second, as we mentioned, one of the victims. And there goes Harluck, and she's safe on the stolen base. So a stolen base for the injured Sarah Harluck, who, as we mentioned, Andrew, was a game-time decision. Tried to give it a go before the game, was not able to hit. But she does a nice job filling in there as a pinch runner with a stolen base and a runner in scoring position for Iowa State.
Close bang play over there at second. I thought she might have been out, but it looked like she put that left wrist in a little bit of harm there. She slid with it into the left side as the tag came in. But once again, that speed is such a game changer.
The 2-0 pitch to Lenzine is called for a strike. 2-1 the count. So we said Harluck at second base, pinch running right now for Kappert, who drew a walk to start off the inning. So the Cyclones trail by 2 with a chance to do some damage here. The junior Lenzine takes a ball inside, 3-1. 3-1 the count now.
Well, and Harluck's speed out there at second, so dangerous. It earned her, for the first time in a long time for the Cyclones, Big 12 Player of the Week. Just absolutely a threat out there that's sorely missed at the plate. But if you can still have her out there running with another big lead, as we see, and it looks like Lenzine will take the walk there, just so much danger. It puts an extra element out there that Elkins has to think of. And when we saw Reese back out there at second base back in the first, Elkins didn't have a very good throw, as we'll get now a meeting at the mound.
It looks like another pinch runner for Iowa State. That's Madison Jones, who's going to be running for Lenzine. So back-to-back walks given up by Custer, and a threat here for Iowa State.
That's what Iowa State now looks like. They're going to be a lot more aggressive, making moves and trying to get some of that speed going out there on the bases. And as we said, Harluck over there at second, Jones over there at first. As we said, we've got Shannon Hayes out there. He's talking to Custer, trying to set up that infield defense as well. That speed is just so dangerous. And Slater, we've seen her. She's got a little bit of pop in that bat, a little bit of surprise. And I shouldn't have been surprised in that first one after she hit the second one, but she hit 2 home runs in a game against Oklahoma State earlier this season. A lot of surprising power throughout this entire Iowa State lineup. And as we said with the Texas Tech lineup, no easy outs. There are none for Iowa State, even with the injured Miller.
So the Texas Tech infield in there trying to calm down Custer, who has back-to-back walks in the 5th inning, with the Cyclones trailing 3-1. Speed on the base pass now for Iowa State with Harluck and Jones on the base paths. And that brings up the 9-hitter, Lexi Slater, the sophomore from Ramona, California. Interesting setup defensively for Texas Tech right now with the corners playing way in.
Wow. That's the shortstop in the second. That's shortstop in second base playing in right now. And the corners are playing out. Just very interesting setup here. I don't think I've seen this defensively before.
And the bunt shown there by Slater, it's fouled. So that's what they're playing for. The second baseman, Brooks Scott, for Texas Tech, playing way in. We saw Samantha Carmelo in playing even with the pitcher as well, but now it looks like Scott's going to go back with an 0-2 count now due up to Slater.
You don't see that often. Typically, you see the first baseman that creeps in on those bunts.
And that's called strike 3. So a nice job by Custer with no outs, runners at first and second to get that strikeout to Slater.
And let's see if they bring back that unorthodox defense once again. And I think it threw Slater off a little bit when she bunted, but really had no effect one way or the other. And it looks like now we're going to see James. It's going to be even in there, as well as Perez with Custer, the more traditional defense to the bunt.
And there it is. Gomez showing bunt and called for a strike. Gomez has struggled today, the freshman from Texas. 2 strikeouts already in this game, hoping to get something started here and maybe move those runners along. But we've seen it. Gomez has got some strength as well. She can put one into the outfield. And with that wind blowing out to left field, let's see what she can do here. It's a hard right up the middle by Gomez. 1 run at least will score. It's booted in the center field by Kenny. And it looks like they're going to hold Jones at third base, but a double by Brittany Gomez, and an RBI single cuts the lead to 1.
Just an excellent piece of hitting there, and we've seen that a couple times this season from Gomez. They play so far in on her because she's so fast. They have to get to the ball quickly, and it looked like it just went right by Scott. Scott been playing the traditional second base spot, which she isn't supposed to do. She's supposed to play in. As you said, Gomez has enough pop to kind of sneak those out of the infield, and it gets Iowa State their second run of the game.
And just the second hit of the game for Iowa State as well. They've got runners on second and third now. It's Gomez at second, Madison Jones, the courtesy runner, over at third base. Here's Maddie Reese, the sophomore. The pitch to her, called for a first pitch strike.
Fans not happy with that one. Looked a little bit inside. Stacey Gemeinhart-Seltzer getting signs now over to Gomez at second, as well as over to Reese back at home. The corners are playing in, Matt, and surprising to at least see. That looks like just the first base. Never mind.
The 0-1 pitch to Reese, hit to the second baseman, and it's booted right underneath her glove. 2 runs are going to come in for the Cyclones, and they lead it 4-3.
What a costly error by Scott, and you could tell right away her exasperation after that ball slipped right under her glove. She would have had Jones dead to right over there at home plate as that ball was hit a little bit too hard by Reese. Reese is going to stay over at first base, of course, as that ball got quickly out to Williams and right, and we're going to look back at the replay here real quick, and just right underneath her glove. So tough of a break, but Iowa State happy to get that break. They will take the lead 4-3.
A couple of really crucial errors made by the middle infielders by the Red Raiders. 2 runs coming in to score there on the error by Brooke Scott, but a nice piece of hitting by Maddie Reese to get 2 runs, and the Cyclones take their first lead of the game.
And really just a tough break out there for Custer. 3 of her 4 runs are unearned this afternoon. And the run at first could be if it scores for Iowa State as well. And just not her fault. She's been dominating the Iowa State lineup all day.
I should say the first lead of the game for Iowa State came back in the first when they got that early lead by an Erica Miller base hit. But their first lead since the second inning. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 by Henry. So the 9th strikeout victim by Custer, but the Cyclones already doing some damage in this inning, but now 2 away. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Cyclones lead it 4-3. Only 2 hits in this game for the Cyclones, but it was, as we said, a couple crucial errors made by the middle infield for Texas Tech.
And just really a tough break, as well as Harlock, when she was out there on the bases, scored mainly because Kenny booted it.
And a stolen base. Maddie Reese in there safely. So another stolen base for her. She had one back in the first inning as well. So speed on the base pass and a runner in scoring position for one of Iowa State's most dangerous hitters, Tori Toscano.
And Reese, not known to steal as many bases, has now 9 on the season, has yet to be thrown out. So she picks her chances, has enough speed to get there from first to second to really force some movement out there by the defense.
So this inning all started with a couple walks. Kappert and Lenzine reached safely. Brittany Gomez with an RBI double and an error by the second baseman Brooke Scott. 2 runs coming around to score. The Cyclones lead it 4-3 here. And a hard one hit right back to the pitcher Custer. So Toscano is the 3rd out of the inning. But the Cyclones, as we mentioned, score 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They lead it 4-3 against Texas Tech. We'll head to the top of the 6th coming up next on Cyclones.tv.
Hi, I'm John Walters. Ames is the home of the Cyclones and so much more.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
The Cyclones lead it 4-3 here in the top of the 6th inning. 3 runs coming across the score in the 5th inning for Iowa State. Some big hits, some crucial errors by Texas Tech, and some very nice coaching, Andrew, by Stacey Gemeinhart-Sessler.
She was pushing all the right buttons in there. Took probably a bit of a risk out there by sending Harlock in to run for Kappert after that first walk. She brings Madison Jones in to pinch run for Lenzine. And then really from there, it kind of fell into place. Slater kind of got caught off guard, I think, a little bit by that odd defense that had Scott all the way in, even with Custer at the bag. And then next thing you know, Gomez, a great piece of hitting, just shoots one right up the middle for an odd double, really. You don't see a lot of ground balls up the middle turn into doubles, but it was kicked around out there by Kinney. And then just, as you said, that crucial error. Reese has reached twice now on errors and come up big in both spots.
So Tori Toscano working with a lead here in the top of the 6th inning. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Red Raiders. It's Camelo, King, and Scott. And here's Camelo. 1-0, the count to her. The second pitch taken low for the second ball, but Camelo laid down a sacrifice bunt, which moved across Elkins back in the second, and she came around to score. Also flew out to right field back in the third. Here's the 2-0 pitch to her by Toscano. Right on the outside and called for a strike. Nice placement there by Toscano.
Yes, excellent placement on that. Like to call it a fastball. Not a whole lot of movement on that one. She does have that running fastball. Doesn't want to do that here. Let Camelo pull one.
2-1 pitch fouled off by Camelo, so it evens the count at 2-2. But if you're Toscano, you take a little bit off a pitch to maybe get a little bit more accuracy, especially on a day like today with that wind dying down just a little bit, but it's still pretty steady. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled away. So it remained 2-2 to Camelo.
And outside of really Adriana Perez, she's been doing an excellent job so far of keeping almost everybody in this Texas Tech lineup off balance. We see a couple hits scattered throughout, but only 4 hits so far for the Red Raiders. What's been burning her, though, is what's been burning a lot of Cyclone pitchers all season. It's those walks. So troublesome.
The 2-2 to Camelo is low and inside. Works another full count. So another full count worked by one of the Texas Tech Red Raiders batters. They've been very patient today as well, Andrew.
Yeah, and that's kind of compounded the problem. But Toscano really pitching well all afternoon. They just missing on some of those pitches she is, as we see that one fouled off to the left side. And that's kind of been the story so far for Iowa State. And the 2 runs that Texas Tech scored outside of that home run were that came off of bats, off of bats, obviously, but off of walks. And that's so tough to give those up because you don't like to give them away for free.
That one's hitting to shallow right field, and it looks like it's going to fall in after a diving Madison Jones in right field. And she is in safely, is Camelo. So a nice at-bat by Camelo to just drop one in there in front of the right fielder Jones. Nice base running by her as well to sneak into there to second base with a double.
Iowa State playing very aggressively defensively. That's kind of their MO. They like to throw at home when the bases are loaded to try to catch runners off. They don't like going for those double plays and getting back on their heels possibly a little bit, as it looks like we may see a pinch hitter. We got a replay right here, and it looks like just misses that one on the dive. Jones does. Gomez up with it quickly, though, and I think Camelo did an excellent job of sliding on that one, as Gomez had a little bit of trouble with that one, but a great strong throw keeps her at second.
Sydney Tapia, the pinch hitter right here for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. She's batting .240 on the year, 23 hits. She shows bunt and lays one down, but it's called foul.
It looks like
hit her in the batter's box.
Looks like that's probably what they want to do to try and kind of. She looks like she might be a better bunter because it's hard to take out Katie Beth King, although King has struck out twice so far.
So here's Tapia, 0-1 to her. As we mentioned, Camelo with that double now on second base. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Toscano winds up and throws, and a nice bunt, but it's just foul. Would have done the job. Maybe even would have reached safely. A little bit of speed there by Tapia.
That's probably why they put her in. Looks like she's a little bit faster, perhaps, than King. And that one, as you said, Reese not able to get to it too quickly, but it just spins foul, fortunately for Iowa State. Harder to, of course, bunt with 2 strikes.
So Tori Toscano working with a 1-run lead, but that lead in danger here as the Red Raiders with a runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Tapia. It's low.
Looks like she might have been taken all the way, not expecting Toscano to groove one right in the middle.
Toscano winds and fires. Hit on the ground to third base, but it's foul. Just foul. Maddie Reese just over the line there.
No more signs coming down from Hayes. It looks like she'll be swinging away here.
Yep. Defense, middle infield playing back. Corners even with the bags. Toscano winds and fires a changeup, and it's outside. So Tapia works the count to even, 2-2.
Lenzine wanted that call so badly, held that one up there for an extra 2 seconds, and an eternity it seemed like probably to her back there. Just misses that outside corner, though.
The 2-2 pitch coming to Tapia, and it's hit foul down the third base line, but hard.
Hopefully Tapia not getting timing out there. Toscano doing a good job so far of changing speeds. She's really exclusively featured that kind of tailing fastball and a little bit of a changeup.
4-3, Iowa State leads in the top of the sixth. Here's Toscano, and she throws strike 3 to Tapia. So the pinch hitter sit down on strikes. The first out of the inning.
It's a great pitch right there. It looked like it locked Tapia up at the knees. It was that off speed, that changeup from her. Just really, really tough to hit out there.
We'll see another pinch hitter here for Texas Tech, number 25, Gretchen Aucoin. The freshman from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. So the 9 spot in the Texas Tech lineup, seeing a lot of work today. 3 different players finding their way there. So Brooke Scott looks like she might be out of this game.
So you get Aucoin. So it started with Taylor Powell, who reached on an error back in the second. Scott walked, so it's been a fairly successful venture for the rotating door in the 9 spot.
Toscano, the senior, delivers to the freshman Aucoin for a called strike. So Aucoin trying to put her team even with the Cyclones at 4-4. The Cyclones regaining that lead back in the 5th. The 0-1 pitch is low and outside, 1-1.
A lot of weapons off the bench for Texas Tech, and Aucoin one of them. 311 on the season, a 378 on base percentage, 5 runs batted in, and 45 at bats.
1-1 the count to Aucoin. Runner on second. Here's the pitch. Another changeup, but that one's high. So Toscano looks like she kind of got away with one there. Not where you want that pitch to end up, but Aucoin left off. Wants to see a better pitch.
Our home plate umpire, Sally Keller, leaned to the left and wanted to look a little bit one on that one. Might have wanted to call a strike on that.
Aucoin hits one hard to Slater, at second base. Kind of lofted it up there. Enough time for her to get to that one. So the second out of the inning. But that brings up the top part of the lineup for Texas Tech, Mikey Kenny.
Can't say it enough. The great job that Slater and Davison do on that middle infield. Watch that one's line. It was relatively hard, and we haven't seen the ball carry that much. We haven't seen a whole lot of fly balls, really.
And Kenny hits one hard in the left center gap. That's going to score one and tie up this game. So a 2-out double by Mikey Kenny, the center fielder for Texas Tech, does some damage to Toscano and ties up this ball game.
Just pitch that was right in her wheelhouse, and she hit that one about as hard as you can hit a softball. Just lined it out into left center field. Gomez was not going to get to that one quickly, at least for the out, and she'll go ahead and looks like we might have another. Nope, just getting the batting equipment off out there at second base is Kenny, but really just tough to give up that one with 2 outs.
Camelo trading places with Kenny at second base. A pair of doubles for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and they tie it up 4-4 in the top of the 6th. That brings up Shelby Johnson, the left fielder for Texas Tech. A couple walks on the day, a couple stolen bases as well for her. 0 for 1 on the day. Trying to regain this lead for Texas Tech. Now she's down in the count 0-2. 2 away here, top of the 6th inning. Toscano trying to get out of this damage and get the Cyclones back to regain the lead. The 0-2 pitch to Johnson is outside. Wow, Toscano was walking off the circle thinking she had that one there. A great pitch. Just an outside. She thought she hit the outside corner, but it's 1-2 now to Johnson.
That riding fastball been working all day for her. Moved just a little bit too outside, though.
1-2 pitch is hard, hit right back up the middle. Gomez coming up with it cleanly, and she'll fire a strike, but not in time. Mikey Kenny coming around to score, and looks like Hallie Lenzine's going to throw down to second, not in time as well. So on the throw, Johnson advancing to second, and Texas Tech regains the lead 5-4.
Just another laser from a Texas Tech Red Raider bat. Johnson hit that one once again, just about as hard as you can hit it. Right up the middle. Gomez up with it quickly. Had a great throw actually to home, but Lenzine didn't see Johnson kind of creep off over there at first base. And I think Lenzine probably should have been a little bit quicker on that one. She did have a great throw, though, to follow up and almost caught her off anyway. Johnson, that is, over at second on that great throw over to Davison.
Here's the right fielder, Caitlin Williams. Williams 1 for 3 on the day, singled back in the first. Toscano, though, did a great job after giving up that leadoff double to Samantha Camello, a strikeout and a line out to Lexi Slater, but just could not get out of the inning. Mikey Kinney coming up with an RBI double, and now Shelby Johnson an RBI single, and Texas Tech regains the lead. Here's another hit, just foul, though, right down the left field line. About a foot foul, though. Toscano got away with one there, Andrew.
That was in no man's land, and there would have been a lot of Red Raiders running around the bases once again, and it looks like they're starting to time her now. This is the 4th time through the lineup for Texas Tech, so they've seen that fastball change-up combination. They've seen that riding fastball, and it looked like Williams was trying to groove that one and go with that fastball out to left field. Just missed it, though, and as you said, tailed just foul, probably about a foot to the left of that foul line. And if you're Toscano, you just have to try and keep hitting your spots and try and keep them off balance right now. It looks like she might be getting a little bit uncomfortable out there. All those hits have been coming off that fastball, and I want to try and feature that changeup again. I don't think they've seen it a whole lot here in this game, and when she has used a changeup, it's been good for her.
2 outs. Shelby Johnson at second base. Here's the pitch to Caitlin Williams. The 0-2 is low and outside for ball 1. Shelby Johnson, RBI single to give the Red Raiders the lead. Advanced to second base after that throw from Brittany Gomez came in, and Hallie Lenzine could not throw her out at second. The 1-2 pitch is outside, evens the count at 2-2. So Toscano doing a great job in this game of getting ahead in the count, but she seems to be losing those batters, working a lot of full counts, so got to give credit to Texas Tech. Here's a 2-2 pitch. It's hit hard and high into right field, but Madison Jones is underneath it for the final out of the inning. But Texas Tech scores 2 runs, 2 doubles, and a single to give Texas Tech the 5-4 lead. Cyclones will try to get that run back in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Cyclones.tv.
More often than not, the best solutions are the simple ones. When it comes to corn refuge, simple is better. Simple is here. DuPont Pioneer revolutionized simple with the broadest lineup of refuge management products. Better choices. Make it simple. Refuge simplified by DuPont Pioneer.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am
A helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 6 years.
15 years.
25 years.
I've been a helpful smile for 39 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
The 5, 6, 7 hitters of the Iowa State lineup will try to regain the lead here as Texas Tech jumping out to a 5-4 lead. Iowa State grabbed the lead back in the 5th inning with a nice 3-run inning, but there you see it, that base hit right up the middle, giving Texas Tech the 1-run lead here as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Kara Custer remaining in the pitching circle. Sydney Tapia moving over to second base, number 13 for Texas Tech. As number 6, Sarah Davison will step in for the Cyclones. She's 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to third in the first, and walked back in the third. So here's Davison. First pitch to her, called for a strike.
That one a bit inside. It looked like that one might not have caught that inside corner, but of course, Custer not going to complain on that one. It looked like Davison was ready for that one to be ball 1 as well.
The 0-1 pitch is low. But Andrew, you got to give credit to Tori Toscano. Really kept this team in the game, down 3-1 through 2 scoreless innings, and you thought she might get out of that damage in the 6th inning. She had runner at second base with 2 outs. Wasn't able to get out of it.
You're right, and that one is called for ball 2, and really just tough. And she left 2 pitches over the plate, and Texas Tech saw them, timed them well. It was the 4th time through the lineup for that top part of the Texas Tech lineup. So really it was, easy for them. I think they'd seen her enough, and they'd seen enough of that fastball changeup combination to groove a couple out there to the outfield.
So 3-1 here to the junior Sarah Davison. Davison trying to reach base so the Cyclones can regain that lead, and she will on the walk. So Sarah Davison with her second walk of the game So we'll try to do something here for the Cyclones on the base pass.
Custer has had a few more walks. She's had 4 in the last 3 half innings, but really this Iowa State 4-run, on the scoreboard isn't necessarily her fault. 3 of those runs are not charged to her right now, and it looks like we're going to get time as we are going to get perhaps some form of defensive change as Shannon Hayes, the head coach for Texas Tech, will step in out there. I don't think he's ready quite yet to take out Custer, but we'll wait and see here as it looks like we're going to at least get a change in the catcher, and we are going to see a new pitcher out there.
We'll let you know as soon as we find out who that number is.
Believe that will likely be, we've got a lot of different pitchers that could be out there, and that's going to be number 11, Brittany Talley.
Give us the line on Talley, Andrew.
Talley, 2.48 ERA. She's won 9 games. She's appeared 32. Looks like she doesn't start as often or as frequently, but she does have 3 complete games, and she's got 96 innings, 34 earned runs, 67 strikeouts.
Let's recap the scoring for you. It's Iowa State getting on the board, in the first inning. Erica Miller drove in Maddie Reese in an RBI single, but Erica Miller was taken out of the game back in the second after she injured her left hand. Not sure quite how that happened. We'll give you an update as soon as we find out about her. Haven't heard anything about that, but Texas Tech coming back to score it back in the second inning. Lexi Elkins reached on a walk and then a sacrifice bunt and an error by Iowa State allowing her to score, and they tied it back up.
And it was that error when Miller got hurt, and then of course, as we kind of move on to the third, you can go ahead and carry that one on for us. A big home run.
Yeah, big home run. Adriana Perez, a 2-run homer, put the Red Raiders up 3-1. But then Iowa State with 3 runs in the 5th inning. Started with a couple walks and a double by Brittany Gomez, an RBI single, and then a 2 RBI error on the second baseman, Brooke Scott. 2 runs came in to score, and that was the 3 spot in the 5th inning. Cyclones held that lead until that top half of the 6th inning. Torrescano giving up some big hits. So here's number 11, Jordan Spenlove. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. Trying to lay down a bunt here to get Sarah Davison over to second.
Talley, the lefty out there. I don't think Iowa State's seen one yet here at home. Again, tough for Spenlove out there.
There's a base hit, bloop single into center field. So runners at first and second now for the Cyclones after a base hit by Spenlove.
That infield was in for Texas Tech, and they will pay for it. Spenlove grooves one out into right center field. Of course, the outfield up with it quickly as that one was not hit terribly hard as we had a charging right fielder in Caitlin Williams. But Iowa State, once again, threatening. Runners over at first and second. And Cappert's going to get to see a lefty here. Cappert did have that big home run against Drake, though.
So the Cyclones trying to regain the lead here. Trail 5-4 in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Cappert, and she lays down a bunt, but that one's foul. It's a little bit unusual to see Cappert with her strength laying down a bunt, but she's just trying to get it done for the team, trying to advance the runners along as Iowa State trails by just 1.
And Texas Tech saw that one coming. James and Perez were on a dead sprint back home, and that's got to be scary for James. If Cappert decides to swing that one, that would be a tough ball to take.
Here's the 0-1 to Cappert. Takes a called strike again. So 0-2 now to Cappert. So now if you're Stacey Gemeinhardt-Sessler, you got to make up your mind here. Do you want Cappert to lay down the 0-2 bunt and attempt it, or do you want her to swing away? We'll see what she does here. The infield, the corners playing back just a bit. Runners at first and second. Cappert showing bunt. Pulls back. Hits one hard into right field for a base hit. Stacey Gemeinhardt-Sessler holding the runners. Originally was trying to wave them in, but the right fielder, Caitlin Williams, came up throwing. So the base is juice for the Cyclones here with no outs in the bottom of the 6th.
Excellent work out there by Gemeinhardt-Sessler to make sure that Davison was stopping. Davison wanted to go home, but a great throw from Williams out there in right field. Came back in on one hop, would have thrown her out there at the plate likely. And just with no one out, there's no reason to risk getting thrown out at home with 1 out, down by 1 run. You've got a great lineup top to bottom. Hallie Lenzine, Lexi Slater, not necessarily the best hitters for Iowa State, but it's a deep lineup nonetheless. Lenzine has seen a lot of at-bats. She does have 2 doubles on the season. Lexi Slater has 4 doubles and 2 home runs. There's a lot of depth in this lineup, and they're going to talk right now to Lenzine and try and kind of set the stage for her. And we really saw something aggressive as we're going to get
another pitching change. We're going to see Kara Custer come back into this game.
Very quick exit out there for Talley, which is surprising because it looked like Talley has really better numbers on paper at the very least. Does give up a lot more hits per inning, though.
So Custer back on the mound. She started the game, was taken out back in this inning after giving up a pair of hits. Now she's back in the circle to face the catcher, Hallie Lenzine. Bases loaded for Iowa State, trying to regain that lead. Down 5-4. A good time for a rally here by Iowa State. With the catcher, Kappert, she's 0 for 1 on the day. Or Lenzine, excuse me. 0-2 now to Lenzine, swing and a miss.
And I think they brought Talley in just to deal with the lefties, and she did not get the job done. You don't see that a whole lot in softball. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if Talley is actually ready to come back into this contest unless she went back out there in some position.
Shows bunt, pulls back, and that one's low. So 1-2 the count now. Ducks on a pond for Iowa State. The outfield for Texas Tech, the left and center field playing fairly deep. The right fielder, Caitlin Williams, playing about mid-depth. Lenzine shows bunt, pulls back, and fouls him away.
Not fooling anyone, I think, showing bunt with the 1-2 count. The infielders are playing back.
Yep.
We've seen Texas Tech on those corners be very aggressive, and we've seen some very interesting moves as well. We saw Brooke Scott playing even with Custer back earlier in this game as well. So Texas Tech likes to change things up on that infield.
Lenzine, a patient Lenzine, takes outside, evens count at 2-2.
And I think that the Texas Tech dugout not too happy with that one, but that one looked like it was well outside.
So Lenzine trying to put her team ahead here. Swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. So Kara Custer was taken out of this game in this inning. Gave up a walk and a hit. And she's back in this game to get the first out of the inning. So Iowa State wants at least one run here to try to tie up this ball game. And that brings up the shortstop, Lexi Slater. Slater takes a ball low, 0-1. Or 1-0, excuse me.
And it looks like Iowa State was being fairly aggressive with that last at bat. Of course, Custer responsible for the runner over at third, and it's going to be Talley who's responsible for runners at first and second.
A hard chopping grounder to shortstop. It's over the head of Camello. 1 run comes in to score. And 2 runs come in to score, and Iowa State takes the lead on a 2 RBI single by Lexi Slater.
Spenlove dangerously base running there. She should have slid back at home. That's exactly what Davison was trying to tell her to do. Spenlove wisely runs back, though, and taps the plate. Dangerous situation. Didn't look like she got a very good turnaround third as well. But Iowa State, as you said, will take that lead on just a great piece of hitting by Davison.
Davison, Spenlove coming for Iowa State. They lead it 6-5 here in the bottom of the 6th. So a 2 RBI single by Lexi Slater. Just a chopper over the shortstop, Samantha Camello's head into left field. And Iowa State with a 1-run lead once again.
Great opportunity here for Iowa State with Gomez and with Reese, who have both reached base twice, or rather combined 3 times today to get them up in front of Liana Henry and Tori Toscano.
So just 1 out here, runners at first and second. That brings up Brittany Gomez, 2-1 the count to her. It's Kappert at second, Lexi Slater at first for Iowa State. 5 hits in this game for the Cyclones and 7 for the Red Raiders, but it's been the errors for Texas Tech that's really killed them today.
Gomez looks like a home run swing right there. That's one of the biggest swings you'll see her take. Doesn't have a whole lot of pop, just enough really to get it out of that infield and create problems for the infield defense. She is 1 for 3, though. Did score a run earlier back in the 5th.
And a chopping swing by Gomez, and she hits herself outside of the batter's box. And that's going to be the 3rd strike by her, and the umpire signaling out. Looks like, I think what she did was she swung and hit it, and she hit the ball while she was out of the batter's box. And by rule, Andrew, if you touch the ball after you're out of the batter's box, you are out.
We're going to get a discussion here with our umpiring crew, Sally Keller, Renee Williams, and Kevin Killingsworth. They're going to talk this one over and see if she fouled it off or not. Gomez is back and grabbing her bat. And it looks like she is out, and she did hit it. And we'll have to get that one back on replay. The runners at first and second will have to go back. They cannot advance on that play. It's a dead ball as soon as she hit it outside the batter's box. And that's some of the danger sometimes with those slap hitters. They end up running 3 steps down the line before they really make contact, and they could end up tripping over the ball like Gomez did.
So not sure how that one's ruled in the rule book. Never seen that one. So what happened, Brittany Gomez just hit a chopper and when she was running to first base, kicked the ball, so she'll be out for the 2nd out of the inning. Maddie Reese, the 3rd baseman for Iowa State, She's reached on 2 errors, came around to score in the first inning, flew out to center in the third. Chance to extend this lead, a couple more insurance runs, hopefully for Iowa State. The 0-2 pitch is outside, barely. 1-2 the count to Reese.
Great patience there by Reese, and really great patience all day. She's made contact in all 3 of her bats, and fortunately for her, 2 errors have really got Iowa State back in this game and took the lead there back in the fourth.
A chopping swing and a foul ball by Reese. So it's Kappert at second, Slater at first. Iowa State taking the lead after a 2 RBI single by Lexi Slater. 6-5, Iowa State leads with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Custer, the windup in the pitch, and it's check swinged for called strike 3. So Reese will sit down, but Iowa State gets 2 crucial runs and takes a 1-run lead over Texas Tech. Andrew Schneider will have play-by-play in the top of the 7th inning. You're watching Cyclones.tv.
More often than not, the best solutions are the simple ones. When it comes to corn refuge, simple is better. Simple is here. DuPont Pioneer revolutionized simple with the broadest lineup of refuge management products. Better choices. Make it simple. Refuge Simplified by DuPont Pioneer.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am.
A helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 6 years.
15 years.
25 years.
I've been a helpful smile for 39 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
Tori Toscano will try and close this one out for Iowa State. They take another lead at 6-5 as we head to the top half of the 7th. For the Red Raiders, it will be Sandy James, Adriana Perez, and Lexi Elkins. Tough 4, 5, and 6. Part of the order for the Red Raiders. Toscano been playing with fire all afternoon, and it's been a back-and-forth contest really since that bottom of the 5th where the Iowa State Cyclones scored 3 runs. Texas Tech comes back on a double and a base hit, score 2 runs. Iowa State in the bottom half of the 6th come back and score 2 more, and that's where we sit at 6-5, Matt. Just back and forth, and I think Iowa State, once again, we've seen this all season long on our broadcast, just play with fire, and escape with a great win at home, and that's what they're looking to do right now.
4-0 here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. This team really seems to never die. Really some crucial hits, some key RBIs, some big hits for Iowa State.
The first pitch of Sandy James is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. And Matt, we've seen Toscano get ahead of a lot of hitters, but then fall behind and possibly have a few mistakes here and then. We saw that really plague her in that last part of the inning for Texas Tech.
Got to give credit to Toscano, though. She struggled in that 2nd and 3rd inning, gave up that 1-run lead, but in the 4th and 5th really settled down. A couple 1, 2, 3 innings for her. A couple nice defensive plays by Iowa State up in the middle infield. Gave up those 2 runs in the 6th, but the Iowa State offense able to be clutch. Some big hits in the bottom of the 6th to regain that lead.
It's a 2-1 count to James. James has struggled all afternoon. She did walk back in the 5th, but 2 strikeouts to start this series off for her.
Yeah.
And we're going to get, looks like time and probably a warning from the umpire letting her know that she needs to speed up a little bit. We saw earlier in one of our broadcasts where the umpire wasn't afraid actually to charge a walk, and now we're going to get Stacey Gemeinhart-Setzler to come out there and talk.
Probably asking what she did. Not quite sure. Maybe she's saying she's got to be completely set before she delivers.
It's a fair warning because she can end up getting a ball charged to her. And she ends up getting it. And they're going to call, looks like a balk, and that's going to end up being ball 3. It's a 3-1 count. And that's going to be a strike down the middle, though.
Okay.
And it looked like James did not like that call. She was ready to walk on down. It's a full count. So everything's sorted out now. It's a full count. Iowa State leads by 1. Toscano will get her sign. She'll fire that one, and it's lined out to right center field for a base hit. That's going to get all the way out to the wall. James is going to coast on into second base with a no-out double. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. That was just a rope out to right field.
Well, Torrescano really just challenged the cleanup hitter, Sandy James, and went right after with a full count. That's what you got to do. Nice seeing eye single right up the middle. Just got past. It was hit hard enough to get past Gomez. Gomez just kind of fumbled it around in right center field. Probably had a chance to get up throwing on that one. As we see the replay there, hit right back up the middle, right center field, kind of tailed there. Gomez, as you can see, had some troubles coming up with it. But nonetheless, Sandy James, a no-out double.
The runner, Marissa Milazzo, is going to come in and pinch run for James to put her over there in second base. Adriana Perez is going to step in, dig in. She had a home run back in the third and a base hit in the first, and it looks like we are now going to get a visit to the mound after we get that pinch runner out there trying to calm down Tori Torrescano. Just some tough at-bats from Texas Tech all day.
Yeah, and Torrescano is really, she's done a nice job of getting ahead in these counts. You know, you got to give credit. The Texas Tech hitters working a lot of full counts in this game, and Torrescano going right after them, not being afraid to challenge them, and they've just come up with some big hits, just like we saw there from James, a no-out double. Hopefully for Texas Tech, they're trying to regain their lead. As we said, it's been really back and forth since that fifth inning, Andrew.
Yeah, and as we look at the situation right now, it's got to be tough, and Torrescano's done this a couple times to herself, really in these top half of seventh innings. It has not been easy to close out these games for Iowa State. The other team likes to come back. We've seen instances where Iowa State's had big 4 or 5 run leads, and the other team comes back and chips away. And in this case, it's only a 1-run lead. So really tight roping it in this situation is Torrescano with this 1-0 pitch, and that's way outside for ball 2. I don't think she wants to groove anything to Perez. I think we'll see her possibly pitch around here, Matt. Perez, of course, the most dangerous power hitter in this lineup.
Perez, a 2-run homer back in the third inning. Pretty strong shot. That wind really carried that one out there into right center field. But that gave Texas Tech the lead, or extended their lead back in the third inning to 3-1. But
it did give them that lead, as it was a tie ball game on that 2-run home run. And the 3-0, it looks like it's going to be way outside. Torrescano wanted nothing to do with Perez in that at bat. So Perez will reach over at first, and the runner over at second is Milazzo.
So not much damage done. I mean, the go-ahead run was at the plate, so you don't do too much damage by putting her on, creating a force at first, second, or third now. No outs for Torrescano, so a little bit of damage here. Looks like we might see replacement.
Emily Cooper is going to run over there at first base for Perez, so they're putting speed out there. They're trying to get that tying run home, if not that go-ahead run home. They've got a lot of dangerous hitters. We got Lexi Elkins out there. We've got Samantha Camello on deck, and Katie Beth King, her spot at least, is coming up 8th, and we'll see what they like to do with here. We've seen a lot of action so far now, as once again we are going to, looks like we're going to get a pitching change. Torrescano is going to come in. We're going to shift the defense around. Reese is going to move potentially out over to second base.
We'll see. She might stay at third, and Torrescano looks like she's going to move potentially out to right field. We'll see. We'll let you know what we find out. She's moving out to the outfield right now. Looks like she'll go into right field.
A lot of movement out here defensively, Matt, and we can't blame him. It looks like Torrescano will, in fact, be the right fielder. It's going to be Spenlove Gomez and Torrescano out in right. And we're going to see Taylor Smith come in. She'll be the pitcher and the reliever, trying to close this one out for Iowa State.
Taylor Smith, 7-6 on the year. This is her 23rd appearance. She started in 9 games. 3.92 ERA and 80.1 innings pitched. She's given up 55 runs on 105 hits, 35 walks, and 24 strikeouts for Smith. So she'll try to do her best to put a stop to this damage by Texas Tech here. A few defensive changes for Iowa State. We'll let you know exactly what those are here in just a second. As we do know, Tori Torrescano will move to the outfield.
That's the only change so far. They're going to maintain the exact same infield they had before. Reese over at third, Slater, Davis in the middle infielders, Kappert replacing Erica Miller over there at first base. Torrescano does not play a lot of outfield. She will go out to one of those corner outfield spots. Her most comfortable position over there at third base if she's not out there on the mound. But Lenzine's going to stay in and catch, and Smith is going to have an opportunity here to try and get a save for Iowa State.
But at this point in the game, you got to keep Torrescano somewhere in that lineup, especially if Iowa State loses this lead here. You take out Madison Jones, who is replacing Sarah Harlock, the injured Sarah Harlock, and obviously Erica Miller, the original first baseman, being replaced by Allie Kappert, who is also a slugger for Iowa State. So, Toscano, you might move her to first, you might move her to third, but then you lose out in that power of Kappert and Reese. So moving Toscano out to right field, and now we'll see the pitcher for Iowa State, Taylor Smith, try to stop the damage.
Try to stop the bleeding here. Elkins stepping in. She's going to show bunt and pull back, and that's going to be a call for ball one. We see the wheel play defensively for Iowa State. You have Davison and Slater running and sprinting over to third and first, and you've got the corner infielders, Reese and Kappert, charging in. It's a 1-0 count. Swung on it. Check swing foul over towards the Texas Tech dugout. I think she kind of saw her pitch but wasn't sure to swing it, and looks like the head coach over there at shortstop, Shannon Hayes, he is kind of giving her some structure to maybe go around on that one if she wants to swing it.
Runners at first and second for Texas Tech. Sandy James at second. Adriana Perez at first.
A lot of speed out there. They replaced both our pinch runners out there,
right,
and they're in for James and Perez. You've got Malazzo out there at second. You've got Cooper over at first. A lot of speed out there on the 1-2 count on that foul right behind the plate. So it's a 1-2 count to Lexi Elkins. Elkins struggled a little bit defensively early in this game, but she's kind of come around here. Walked in the first. That one is chopped over to second. Great tag by Davison, a throw over to Kappert, and that's a double play for Iowa State. And yeah, that's it. They're going to call it a double play. Okay. Excellent defensive play by Davison on that ground ball chopped over towards her.
We've seen some beautiful plays by the middle infield of Lexi Slater and Sarah Davison. Some deep plays in the hole, some nice pickups. Sarah Davison doing a nice job of tagging out the runner, Cooper, at first base. Just a nice play to get 2 outs and a chance for Taylor Smith to get the save.
Runner, though, over at third. It's dangerous situation for Iowa State. There's 2 outs. That first pitch is high for ball one to Samantha Camello. Camello doubled and scored back in the 6th. Also, I don't know, she didn't drive in the run in there, but she did score back in that 6th. She flew out back in the 3rd and sacrificed in the 2nd. There's a runner at third for Texas Tech. Smith looking to close this one out. The 1-0 is high and outside for ball 2. There are 2 spots out there. Doesn't have to groove one in right down the middle. A little bit of room to play with out there. Can't throw one wild, though. Great defense by Iowa State, Matt, has kept them in this ball game throughout, and a great play potentially wins this game. A great double play, though. 1 left, though. The 2-0 swung on in line, foul back behind the plate. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, Camello was right on that one. I mean, if you're Smith right now, you have got to keep that ball low. Hopefully get a ground ball with that wind, as we said, Andrew. Playing with the defense all game long.
The wind has died down just a bit. The 2-1 is bounced. And a great stop by Lenzine. That one bounced 3 times before it got to the catcher. And I think it slowed up just enough, really, to stop the runner over there at third and Malazzo from getting anywhere, because Lenzine was able to read the bounces and made a great reaching stop out there.
And Smith really just took a lot off that one, just came up a bit short. Works the 3-1 count now with 2 away. I mean, if you give up a walk here, that doesn't kill you. The bottom half of this order, as we said, not as strong.
That one is swung on over to first. Kappert has some trouble with it. She's going to try and get it. She dives, and she's out over at first base. What a great dive by Kappert and a great recovery. And that will be the ball game for Iowa State. Once again, the defense bails out the Cyclones. Taylor Smith is going to get the save. I was not sure how to call that one, Matt. It was a soft ground ball over to first at Kappert. Camello was rushing down first base. A speedster over there. A tough play. Some sunken faces over there in the face of the Red Raiders as they will lose their 9th conference game in a row. Matt, what a recovery by Allie Kappert.
Unbelievable. I mean, she did a great job of initially just knocking down the ball, stayed with it enough, picked it up, as you said. Camello just racing down the first base line. Kappert reaching out and just by a split second got the tag at first base, and you saw after the game just her teammates is embracing her. You see knocks it down, grabs it with her glove, and dives to first base just in time. And Iowa State with their 19th win of the season, their 4th Big 12 win, and it's a big one, Andrew. A good way to start off this 3-game series.
Iowa State will remain undefeated at home. Their next game is tomorrow afternoon at noon right here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. We're waiting to hear back, of course, on the weather. As of right now, Sunday, April 21st will be our next broadcast of Iowa State softball as they take on Texas Tech at 12 p.m. here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. Iowa State, Matt, will remain undefeated at home this season. The importance of home cooking has been fantastic at this beautiful facility.
Absolutely. Just a great game for Iowa State. Just didn't give up, Andrew. Tori Toscano just pitched her heart out there today. Just unbelievable. Did not just battle. She got ahead in a lot of counts, 0-2, worked a lot of full counts, was able to make a lot of ground balls, some beautiful defensive plays by the middle infield, some key at-bats for Iowa State as well.
What an exciting matchup for Iowa State. They'll finish this one off with 5 hits and 6 runs as they win 6-5. Coming up next, we will have a post-game interview with head coach Stacy Gemeinhart-Sessler on Iowa State's 5th home win of the season. We'll be right back.
TV, Matt Van Winkle down here on the field after Iowa State with a 6-5 win over Texas Tech. And Coach, it's never easy, is it? I mean, you guys were up and down the whole game, and an interesting play to kind of end this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you're right. We always do seem to make it a bit interesting. And but the big thing is that we kept at it the whole time, and we are making it interesting. But the difference is that we're coming up on top, and that is very important. And Cap, that was great composure, sticking with that play and making the final play. That's a good job. That's a tough situation. She hadn't played a lot of first base, this year, and she came into a situation today with Erica getting hurt and did a great job.
How is Erica? I know she injured that. It looked like she injured that left hand early in that second inning. Is she okay?
I haven't talked to her yet. We're waiting. I know that she, I think they're looking at her now and, just hoping for the best there.
Talk about your pitcher, Tori Torrescano. Really seemed to pitch her heart out there. I mean, she almost went the distance, was back and forth in that game. It seemed to have that fourth and fifth inning, didn't allow any runs, kept your team in this one.
She really threw well, and, that kind of the stinker about that home run is she had 2 strikes on that kid and no balls, and those are just, you just never, ever want to do that. But that being said, she did. She threw well enough to win, and really proud of her for that.
Seems like your team at home, especially, really just seems to never give up. You're 5-0 now here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. What is it about this team that is able to keep them staying in these games?
Well, it is a great place to play, and it's ours. And I think that we've waited a long time, and it's special. They have great chemistry in the locker room. And we have great facilities, and it's just fun to play here. And I think that they know that, they embrace it, and they've done a great job running away with it.
Coach, congratulations and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Iowa State with their 19th win of the season, 4th Big 12 win. They're back here tomorrow against Texas Tech. Our next broadcast will be Sunday at noon against Texas Tech. Thank you for watching this production of Cyclones.tv.